Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day. Right, welcome to another episode of Trash Talk with Rich Dogg and the Dog Pound. I am super fucking psyched to be here. We haven't done a Trash Talk for weeks. There's loads of shit going on in the world of esports that's got to be fucking disseminated. I've been drinking all day. Before we get into it, I just want to say big shout out to my man Bwern on YouTube, who made the Game of Weed theme tune that you just heard. It was his last piece of content, I believe, and he's not been back. He made it sometime last year. He said he wasn't going to come back to making any content. So there we go. But great stuff from him. Anyway, it's all been happening since we last did a Trash Talk. Too much to cover, ultimately. So where do we begin? Basically, I don't know. Should we? I'll start. I guess I don't even like to talk about it anymore. It is just fucking pure cancer. But we can talk about some of the League of Legends shit that's been going on recently. So, Forgiven, the LCS MVP, gets suspended for 4 games for that word again. Toxic behavior. He's toxic, isn't he? He's so toxic. He said some mean things to some players in a game. So one of the top players in the world deserves to be banned from earning a living. His team deserve to be penalized because he said some mean things to his players in games that have nothing to do with competitive play. It's the equivalent of Kobe Bryant being banned from the fucking NBA for playing a pickup game down his local park and calling someone a cunt. And let's be fair, Kobe Bryant's done a hell of a lot worse than that in his career. But anyway, it's bullshit. I'm sure you got some thoughts about it. How is it going to affect Gambit? Blah, blah, blah. League. What else has been going on in League? I did wake up to a bit of drama, and that was, of course, the Pinoy's a racist. He's a racist. He's a massive racist, Sam.
I know. Must have been called someone an animal.
Oh, yeah. This is just...
I heard, Pinoy's racist. He called someone an animal. It's like, oh, he must have called, someone a monkey or someone. I look on. A dog? Mate, a dog, and he's racist.
Yeah, but apparently in Korea, if you call somebody else a dog, it's bad. They don't like it.
Worse insults in a nursery, and I'm not even joking. Like,
you do spend a lot of time, Daniel. That's got to be said, mate. With the trust me trousers that inflate and hide your erection.
Just a trench coat, mate. Nothing's going on.
It's too much. The trust me trousers have been deployed. But anyway, no, I find it fucking ridiculous that again you can label a player as being racist because he's called someone a Korean dog. Now, let's be clear. The people were going, yeah, but Richard, have you seen this? Have you seen this? And they were linking me, like, there's a political ideology that says Koreans are their own race. And it's like,
That's
yeah,
how
okay, but
countries work.
it's just a belief, mate. It's just a belief. And it's a belief that's actually led to racism. Because you get into this idea of pure breed Korean and mongrel breed Korean. That's their own shit. Like, I don't want to get involved in any of that. Reality time. Reality time. Let's have a timeout from the SGW bullshit. Let's just do it right, okay? So have a fucking timeout, right? Korean nationality, right? Dog, no history of being a racial epithet. There is nothing racist about combining those two words suddenly. That's reality. I know people don't like to live in reality because we've invented League of Tumblr, mate. It's League of Tumblr, yeah? Are you triggered? Are you fucking triggered?
I'll have to get my black and all soundboard
Yeah, and
out now.
I just want to say as well, how racist of a half Danish, half Filipino immigrant to even use the word dog. Like, he needs to check his privilege, I think. Don't you? Don't you think he needs to check his privilege?
He offended so many trans dogs around the world by calling Keen a dog. He just didn't check his privilege, mate.
Like, honestly, like, I just can't even fucking believe we live in a planet where you can be called fucking racist because hey, you're a Welsh asshole, mate. Yeah, no, hang on. Sorry, I'll use an animal. You're a Welsh snail.
For some reason, I knew you were going to say snail, mate. That's a rock and salt connection, mate.
No, you look like one. And you sound like one. You know when you talk? Yeah, exactly, mate. It's a fucking joke. Anyway, maybe you've got some opinions about that. Maybe you're one of the few fucking precious, delicate flowers out there in cyberspace that want to call in and explain to me why it is racist. I'd love to fucking hear that. I got told today on Twitter, Sam. Did you see this? Did you see it?
Yeah, I think it was the one.
Right?
You are
Some
white.
guy,
You can't
this is true,
discuss
mate.
race.
Yeah. He fucking said to me on Twitter, right? He goes, Richard, do you think as a white person you should really be talking about racism? I'm like, what? So hang on, right? Let me just try and okay, all right. So you want to exclude me from a discussion about race based on my race?
That was the best part. That was the most racist thing said that day.
Yeah. Is this guy for fucking real? That's what this fucking shit has done to everybody. I'll tell you, right? Do you want to know how social justice warriors? Do you want to know how they win arguments? They don't win arguments through intellectual honesty. They don't win arguments by being smarter than anybody else. They win an argument by simply saying, "Oh, you see the argument? Well, if you want to talk about it at any length and intellectually, and if you want to expand on it and pontificate it, you need to meet some criteria." So actually, racism's not about race anymore. Racism's about institutionalized power. Therefore, a white person can never be the victim of racism, and therefore you as a white person can never talk about how to improve race relations. You can't do it. There you go. We win. Oh, well, what's that? What? But we can talk about it. Yeah. We're white middle class Americans. Yeah. We can talk about it. Yeah. Because we're on the other side, man. We're breaking down the power, man. Is this fucking real? Is this really how debates happen?
Oh, that's still super racist because they're like, "Don't worry, black people, we will free you. You know, we will save you."
Exactly.
Like the fucking.
Trust me, as someone that's done all types of fucking voluntary work, lives in one of the most multicultural cities, I would argue in the fucking world, let alone just in Britain. Right? You know, there's nothing more offending and condescending and fucking patronizing than, "Oh, what's that? Yeah. You black, are you? You're Asian, are you? You've got problems. I mean, don't worry. Let a white person fix them for you, mate." No. Don't you worry. The social justice warriors are here to fight your battles for. What do you mean you don't care? No. Shut up now. Social justice warriors are talking. You'll learn about that in a minute, yeah? When we start telling your culture how sexist it is. Wait there. And off they fucking go. I mean, seriously, right? Is this anyway? So Pinoy's a racist. Maybe you got some opinions about that. I think I've made my views quite clear, actually. I don't think he's a racist. He's not a racist. But the big scandal that's unfolding just in league, just as while it's happening on the show, Zhao suspended because pending an investigation because he's involved in an Elo boosting scheme. And it allegedly involves his team manager. I mean, not fucking allegedly, by the way. It would have to be a hell of a mistake because the PayPal that was used for the boosting not only goes to Team Impact managers. It's not only registered in his name and everything, but it's Team Impulse. Sorry, I always say Impact, but it's also his Skype as well. It's the same username. So that's a hell of a fucking mistake. It's a hell of a conspiracy.
Amateur, come on. Learn to Elo Boost, mate.
Yeah, what a fucking amateur. So I thought it was quite funny. Like, Riot put a tweet out. I mean, this is the best thing about Riot, again, like, just to go in on them. So Jacob Wolf, my homeboy's doing the investigation. I said, like, I'm not going to get involved in this one, man. It should be on Reddit. The people have got to know. Public interest stories. Obviously, my shit can't go on Reddit. Whatever. So Jacob's been digging away into it, done great work. We're about to publish all of our findings. And I just thought it was hilarious that, like, Riot quickly realized we were going to end up publishing the story. So what Riot did was they reached out to him for a change. Oh, would you like a comment? We know you're going to get some traffic from this, and we are going to deny you. We are going to construct our own bullshit version of what happened to deny you the hits. And then, as if that wasn't enough, they've just tweeted, he is suspended pending an investigation. Well, don't worry, as always, the Daily Dot's done your investigation for you, Riot, and a real one, not like the fucking bullshit you pulled with MYM. There you go, mate. So fuck Riot, fuck League. It's enough talking about that. Let's talk CSGO. What else has been going on there? Well, of course, I was at fucking DreamHack Valencia. Cloud9 proved that they were no joke. They managed to get to another final of a major event. They did it at ESL, ESCA Pro League. They did it at ESWC. They did it at a far more competitive DreamHack Valencia, but they weren't able to beat TSM. Me and Thorin just had this talk on our show, By the Numbers, sponsored by Alpha Draft. Just to throw it in there, I don't know. Maybe they'll sponsor this show too, Sam. Maybe
they'll feed me for another week.
Yeah, maybe. Whatever.
That's $1,000. Hey.
So we had the talk. Like, he thinks Fnatic is still number one. He's probably right, but I think there's a real argument for TSM being the number one team in the world right now. Maybe you've got an argument about CSGO that you'd like to have with me on my show on Twitch. Right. Have I stalled enough, Sam? Have we got callers?
Yeah, we got callers.
Right, fuck it. Let's
add, what's it called? Nick Allen leaving Riot to that list of discussion as well. We haven't been on since that year.
I knew Nick Allen. I even said it on one of my videos, and of course, because everyone's like, oh, this is a total surprise. How did no one know about this? I fucking knew about it. He got replaced by that fucking Hunter Lee. He used to run On Gamers. Yeah, that's right. The editor-in-chief of On Gamers, who released one critical story about Riot, and then was like, what's that? I can get a job with you guys. Okay. Change direction on our story. Travis interviews only now, guys, for League. Yes, I am legitimate. I asked him January. Everyone says you're going to Riot. Everyone says you're going to Riot. And he's, no, that's not true. Definitely not. And I could get in a lot of trouble with CBSI if they found out I was having talks with people at Riot, which I'm definitely not. So don't print that. That could have serious ramifications. So don't. And here he is now. Hey! One hand washes the other. California becoming the hotbed of incestuous, corrupt relationships in esports. Hey! Fucking, I love this industry, mate. Let's do a call.
Right, first, we're going to have Noah Lazarus. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's been on a few times. He's going to talk about...
your Bible.
All right, well, I might not pronounce the name. What I do know is he's Korean, so he's going to come and chime in on the Pinoy incident and talk about what Dogg means in his eyes in Korean culture.
Can't wait for that. Better be good.
Hey there.
Hey, we are here. So hi there, Risen Lazarus. See, I've got it. I know how to pronounce your name. He doesn't read the Bible, mate. You know, he's not a God-fearing person.
I don't read. What's this reading?
You don't read, full stop. In fact, I'm pretty sure the only Christianity injection he's ever had in his life was like some cartoon Jesus, like whatever, down his local school. But anyway, you want to talk about the Pinoy thing, and you are saying you are Korean.
That's Korean American, but yeah, that's right.
That is true. I did get told actually today that I should speak to some Koreans, like as if I've never met one in 10 years. Koreans in esports? This could be a stretch. So you're a Korean American. May I ask how many years? Like, have you only exclusively lived in America, or have you lived in Korea as well?
I lived there for a bit. I've gone there to work a few summers, but otherwise, pretty much exclusively in America. Yeah.
Okay, but you have spent time out there. Would you consider yourself to have an understanding of Korean culture and the Korean language and that kind of thing?
Enough to see where Keen's coming from on this part, and also to figure out like why everyone's reactions are either this way or that way, but nothing sort of in the middle about
Okay,
what's been said.
so let's do it now. I like your risen, and I've been drinking all day, so I don't disagree. But also, because I respect you, even if we do disagree, I'm going to allow it. I'm going to allow it, mate. So, you said you could see where Keen is coming from. So, should we start with the big question, the hot button, the hot topic? Was it a racist thing to say, in your opinion? Yes or no?
No. Oh, damn it! Already on a bad note. I wouldn't expect the average Korean person to find it a racist insult.
Okay.
I wouldn't find it racist, but I could also understand why Keen would.
Okay, so tell me why Keen would.
So, Korean culture, you know, they always talk about this. When we talk about like OGN and like teams and coaches. Korean culture is a lot about hierarchies between different types of people and respect. And a big part of that is the way that you talk to people who you might not necessarily know and who you don't have the most amount of relationship with. You haven't talked to them much. And so the idea generally is you start off speaking with anyone who you've never met before, you don't talk much with, completely formally. And over time you build up. And this is true for not just Korea, this is true for Japanese as far as I understand. You start off formally, and then as over time you build up a relationship to where, you know, you start dropping some of the honorifics or whatever. So I think part of what tipped off Keen to being called that is just that he doesn't know Pinoy. And so again, you know, this is Keen's new to America relative to, I guess, the rest of his life, right? So part of this is, you know, the culture shock of being here, not being surrounded by people who understand your upbringing and understand sort of the person that you're expected to be in the culture that you had been living in before. And so I think if this had been, you know, obviously Pinoy is also new, which is part of the hilariousness of this, is that they're both foreign people coming to America to play League of Legends.
Yeah.
And are both hitting a culture shock that a lot of Americans, for whatever reason, are injecting their own opinion of and calling it either racist or not racist. But, you know, in Korea, animals and referring to things as animals is usually derogatory. There aren't a lot of, you know, not derogatory in the sense of like the N word derogatory, but, you know, they're never considered.
Well, let's talk about dog. Let's talk about the word dog, right? So, fuck it. I'm right. I'm just gonna. This is just for the purposes of experimentation, right? You know, I like you. You know, I respect you. Yeah, but
sure.
Fuck you, you dog.
Oh no, I was wondering where that was going. Yeah, no, it's
Are you all right? Are you okay?
I'm good. I'm a little.
You're not red in the face. You're not upset. You're not mad. Do you think I racially abused you just then?
But I'm all right. I'm okay.
You're okay. So tell me why the word dog is so bad in Korean culture.
Oddly enough, that word specifically is actually fairly commonly used in Korean culture as an insult. Because I don't know, I mean, you've said you've met Korean people a lot. A very common Korean insult is keseki, which essentially means son of a bitch. Just literal translation, ke is dog, and seki is like the word moms use to refer to their little children. Like neseki means my little boy or my little girl. And so keseki translates directly to son of a bitch. And that's the insult that most people refer to their friends with, like keseki, like when you're not really upset, but you know, you want to, you know, just throw a jab, sort of like, you know, the way we call each other dicks or whatever. That's essentially what it is in Korean. But I think, again, this goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. When you use that word to people you don't know and people who you aren't that familiar with, it becomes an insult. Like I've seen older adults refer to their bosses when they piss them off, or refer to friends who do stupid things as "keseki," like in a harsher way, because everyone knows it as an insult. But when you're friends with someone, it becomes sort of this jabbing thing at each other. And so I guess part of it could be that he translated that into English when Pinoy said it.
So, would you say then the issue is one of intimacy rather than anything to do with race? Because I simply every other Korean person I spoke to on Skype, I know Duncan did a similar exercise. I asked around, and they were like, "Yeah, it's offensive." Pretty much what you're saying. It's super offensive when it comes from people you don't know or you don't have an existing relationship with. Like, you would need to be pretty intimate with someone to be able to call them a dog, Korean to Korean or non-Korean to Korean. But none of them used the R word. None of them said it was racist.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't think the initial reaction, even if you didn't know the person, to be that person called me that because he's racist. But part of this is that, and you mentioned this earlier, Korean culture is very, you mentioned that Korean culture has this sort of supremacy about it, where you don't want to be associated with other Asian cultures. And this isn't to be, pejorative from my standpoint. It's just that Korean culture is very much about, because of the history of how Korea came up, from its being ruled over by different countries, it's very protective of its own identity and its own culture. And so a lot of things Koreans, either jokingly or sometimes seriously, will find offensive, and they won't know why, and they'll attribute it to racism. And I think here, Keen took immediate offense to being called a Korean dog, playing on the North American server in a language he's obviously not his first language. And I think he found it offensive, and for reasons that I would attribute more just to the way Koreans use that word and the way Korean slurs, I guess, are used toward each other, and attributing it to how Pinoy was using it in this specific context. And he couldn't figure out why it pissed him off, but he was like, that must be racist. And I think that's probably what happened, but I wouldn't call it, I wouldn't use the R word to describe dogs.
So, a couple of quick questions for you, brother. All right?
Sure.
First off, what should Riot do about this, if anything? Because it's made the front page of Reddit, and we all know that Riot literally employ people to be on, and this is true, Reddit detail. They sit at a PC all day, F5ing the front page of the League of Legends. So, but I'm convinced it's the only reason it has so much traffic, actually. They just spam away. Oh, what's that? Fiction. Yeah, I'm going to ignore that one. For 2.5 years. Oh, what's this? A player said something bad in solo queue. Quick, get Light and his team of social justice warriors. And that pretty much seems to be how it goes down. So it's been on the front page of Reddit now. So obviously there's gonna be reprisals. Do you think there should be reprisals?
No, I don't think this is gonna. I don't think it should, at least. And I don't think it will boil over to anything too big. I think obviously people have said worse things, especially if you're an 80 carry for Gambit or an X80 carry for Gambit in a little bit. They've said worse things, so I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. Honestly, Pinoy again has that sort of helpful benefit of being not American himself, and so maybe he gets away with some of the "I didn't know what I was saying" bit, like his twit longer seemed to say. So I don't think he's in any issue. I don't think Riot should put him in any issue. I think it just slips out. People say stupid things and you let it go.
So the other question, therefore, it leads on. If nothing's going to happen, I mean, do we also need to say something a little bit about Keen here? Because, and I'm not saying he did this. I don't know Keen. I don't know his motivations. Does seem a little odd, though, that he goes on Twitter like, who is this guy? And everyone goes, it's Pinoy. And then he goes, this person has been racist about me. What should I do? And it's like, I don't know, at the point where somebody says to you, yeah, that's Pinoy, dude. That's like another pro player. For me, what I would probably do at that point is I would have this, like, I don't know. I think the word is empathy, where you're like, yeah, man, fuck. All of us pros, we live our lives like in a fucking spotlight where you say the wrong thing on a fucking stream, you say the wrong thing on a show, you say the wrong thing during an interview, like Cloud and the Win did with Dignitas. You know, you're fucked. That's it. G fucking G. You will never work in this town again. I've seen people that are still getting hauled over the coals today for things they said 2, 3, 4 years ago. It's just never gonna. It never leaves you in this business. It's incredible because when it comes to people stealing money, an esport fan can't remember last week. When it comes to someone saying a bad word, they remember it forever. So, with that said, what I would have done if I was keen, I would have gone, we're both pros, man. I can have my manager reach out to his manager, gets fixed behind closed doors. If there's a post about it on Reddit, we don't address it, we ignore it. Maybe we even say to the Reddit mods, isn't that witch hunting or something? And we just, you know, because technically it is, right? Like if we're following the rules, we could just make it go away. And instead, what happened is that he seemed to be driving towards this. Let's get everyone on Pinoy's case. Do you think he did anything wrong?
That's I don't know. I don't think tweeting about it and trying to figure out, because again, being non-American, he probably doesn't know. I mean, we saw, I don't know if you watched it, the Team Liquid like documentary thing that they do, and they had the last feature was on Phoenix, and how he joined the team. But watching that, I get a sense that a lot of the Koreans who come to America are just sort of, hey, do these things, and we'll figure out the rest. And so when things that aren't like in that game plan come up, you don't really know what to do. So maybe he just sort of, I don't know, freaked out because he got offended by something and didn't know what else to do or who to bring it up to. Doesn't know the procedures, if there are any. I doubt there are, honestly. And it was like, you know what? Let me just ask Twitter and see what happens. And you know, people his age especially do stupid shit like that. And I don't really blame him for it. You know, if you feel like you were wronged, and I could see why he felt like he was wronged, then you ask for help. And maybe he just doesn't have a better way to do that than to blow up Twitter with claims of racism. I don't know, just something he did, and I don't think it's necessarily wrong or that he should be punished in any way for it.
Mm. All right then. Well, it's very middle ground of you. I won't accuse you of being a fence sitter, but I won't do that. But do you have any sort of final thoughts about this drama? I mean, one thing I will say, and obviously not to give the ginger asshole a fucking reach around because I work with him all the time anyway, but rarely has Duncan's videos been as on point as they were on his video about this. I thought my video was good, of course no one's seen that. But Duncan's video, there's a little bit about 24 minutes in or something it is, where he starts talking about the community and how they're like, what's this? What? We get to go in on a pro player and ruin his life? Oh my God, this is, is it Christmas? Is it Christmas right now? And they just queue up to fucking shit on somebody. And as Thorin rightly says, there's no fucking empathy. Half these people don't even care about racism, by the way. Mm-hmm. Like, they've never done anything about the problem, an actual problem of racism in society, a single fucking day of their lives. Nothing. They don't even have a Tumblr, mate. Right? That's how committed they are to fixing racism in modern America. They don't give a fuck. So they come out and it's just an excuse to fucking shit on somebody. And they do it. And then, as Duncan astutely observes, an apology's released and it's almost like the drama's going to go away. And do you know what the reaction is? Not, I'm glad that got fixed. Because wouldn't it have been awful to have two pros have that bad blood about them? Almost like Suarez and Patrice Evra. Just creates a bad stink whenever the two teams have to play each other. No. Do they say that? Do they bollocks? They go, how can we draw this out? How can we get the drama back? Right, well, I think we should boycott this, and I think we need this is extreme racism. This is extreme. I've never seen American History X. If I did, I'd be too triggered. Therefore, I think extreme racism is a word on the internet in a game. It's fucking unreal. So I got to say, like, I'm super disappointed with the community. Like I was with what happened to Thorin. It must have took a lot of restraint for him. And again, really smart of him to not talk about his own experiences, where he's been categorized as a racist by the same community, not once, but twice. Yeah. So, I don't know, man. It's almost as if we look for things that don't fucking exist. Just saying. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think people always talk about the League of Legends subreddit's number one selling point just being player drama, and I don't think that's far off from the truth. But I don't know. Most of the stupid things that players have done in the past that fans have crucified them for, the ones I can think of offhand because he just tweeted something stupid out, is Prototype Black, who said something really stupid and on stream or to players in the game, and now everyone's convinced he's a toxic idiot, and every time he's on the stream or every time he's going for an LCS spot, everyone's like, how can Riot let this guy play in the LCS because he did these things 2 years ago?
Yep.
And I don't know, most of the examples have been like actually people just being outright stupid and not, they weren't things this minor. I think this one we're a little bit like, all right, let's let that go. But again, Thorn's thing, I was also on the side of him, not of that being a lot of it over the top. That obviously didn't need to happen. But at least he's doing fine now, which is good.
Yeah, but it cost him a lot along the way. That's the other thing as well. Like, just the way that this community, they just won't stop. It's like that bit in The Simpsons where, like, I think it's Ralph is crying and going, he's already dead. And they keep kicking and kicking and kicking. They don't give a fuck, mate. They want your job. They want everything. Until you until you are willing to admit the community was right, the mob was right, they will take everything you have and they will keep doing it. They'll take more. Mm-hmm. Seeing it with Total Biscuit. Again, they just won't leave him alone. What did he do? Everyone's like, oh, Total Biscuit's pro Gamergate. He used the Gamergate hashtag like maybe once on Twitter. No, he's pro Gamergate. He's the guy who made Gamergate mainstream. Fuck him. What's that? He's a cancer survivor? Yeah, we don't care. Fuck that guy. What's that? He needs to pay all this money for American chemo. Fuck that. Let's take his job away so we can't pay for the chemo, yeah? Let's literally do that. That's how the fucking online hate mobs in fucking gaming and esports think. It's unfucking real. So yeah, basically, if anyone is involved in that, they're a fucking piece of shit. Simple as that. Anyway, Risen, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend. I certainly hope you'll call in again when I've had less beers and we can have a sensible conversation.
I'm
the one not making it sensible, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna have a dram earlier, and I was like, 5, maybe too early. I'll probably grab something during the show, though.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, thanks a lot for calling in, and no doubt I will speak to you again at some point in the future. Take care, brother. So there we go. That was Risen Lazarus, and what he's got to say, ultimately, long story short, lots of rants, lots of tangents, but ultimately, long story short, it was offensive what Pinoy said, but it wasn't racist, which is, I think, what we all agree with, Sam.
Yep, basically what any human would thought. I can't say any human. I might be calling someone a dog again. Oh, actually, that's a good point. If you thought calling someone a dog is racist, you are a dog. A literal subhuman. You are a dog.
Good on you, mate. Good on you. You tell him. I'm glad you said that and not me. Nigel noticed while Risen was doing his call, we have got the donation button on. Sam set this up. Now, Sam, he recently found out, this is absolutely true, by the way. Sam recently got fired from his job at Tesco's. And he's really struggling to make ends meet. Really badly, actually. He eats his own body weight in Cheetos. and Quavers. Is it Quavers? Was that a crisp you like?
No.
I forget. Anyway, I think it's Quavers. He eats his own body weight in those crisps every day anyway. And he's really struggling now. His mother doesn't know what she's going to do. She already works 3 jobs, all of them in the sex trade. It's 1 job per orifice. And what we did was, what we thought would be good would be set up a donation button. And if you want to just spam this show with Korean dog related insults over the course, you are more than, you can do it. You can make that, you can give Sam $1 and it'll say Korean dog. So you just spam that shit. Spam it for Sam. Think about his poor sore mother. Right? Do it for her in a lot of ways. Give her a rest. Let's do another call.
Yeah.
Who have we got? What do they want to talk about, mate?
Next we have Jen, and she wants to talk about oversensitivity and tumblrism.
Wow, she's in the right place. Right. Whew, better sober up for this one. It sounds like we're going to be in the right place.
Hi there.
Hi, is that Jen?
Yeah.
Hi there, Jen. So I think you want to talk about a subject that's very close to my heart. You want to talk about tumblrism and the sort of rise of oversensitivity. So, well, where to begin? What are your thoughts on it?
Well, my thoughts on it are that there are people with serious conditions, obviously, which they put forth on these websites, but like there's been this trend that it's just absolutely exploding of, people using it as an excuse, basically hiding themselves behind it and everything. Like you have all these people that are now on Twitter as well that link in their biography all the mental diseases that they supposedly have and everything. Right. And it just feels like they're trying to hide behind it. Like personally, I've tried to talk to a fair few people that actually list themselves as like, socially anxiety, trans, or whatever you have. Mm-hmm. Because I have experience in dealing with that myself, and I've talked to a lot of people about it. But it just doesn't feel like they actually want to do anything about it. Like, just seems like a fish for attention most of the time.
Well, let's hook it in where we're at the moment. I mean, look, I know you follow my Twitter, right? I if I'm thinking of the same person, then you will know one of my pet peeves right now is that we are starting to see a rise of people who that offense is sort of being confused with, intolerance. Now, I don't consider myself to be an intolerant person, but I definitely do reserve the right to offend people. I want to say offensive things. I want to tell jokes that maybe are a bit near the knuckle. I'm finding it very difficult to sort of be who I want to be within esports. And that isn't because it's like, yeah, but Richard, you're so unprofessional. I'm talking about just actually even having like a little bit of fun or even having an opinion that sort of goes against this ridiculous circle jerk. Today, prime example, I don't think Pinoy's a racist. In fact, no, I know Pinoy isn't a racist. I don't think saying Korean dog is a racist phrase. I don't think anybody should be grandstanding about that, calling it extreme racism. These people haven't lived a day in their life if they believe that. And I made a video about it and I said, this is bullshit. And the amount of hate mail I got just today for defending a racist, the threats, it seems ridiculous to me. I don't understand why we can't be more robust in our opinions. And I think the ultimate irony in all of this, Jen, is that it's the Tumblrites that are talking about the need for tolerance. Yet they don't seem to be able to be tolerant of any opinion that conflicts with their very limited worldview.
Yeah, I can pretty much agree with that. Like specifically was it today or yesterday's example with Pinoy? It's just like honestly, yes, it was offensive. Yes, it wasn't tactful. Yes, it's questionable, but like that's not racist.
Not real journalism.
No.
By any stretch of the imagination, I can't see that as being honestly racist. Because like a racist would go out of their way to actually do something to you rather than just saying like, OU Dogg of some specific cultural background. It just doesn't do anything. Specifically related to like the circle jerk and everything. I think that has spread a fair lot into esports now, or at least League of Legends, because that's honestly the only one I actively follow, because Counter-Strike is really not my thing. So with all these Riot rulings against toxicity and like those public statements and everything, it just feels very pretentious, honestly.
Well, tell me how you feel about that then, because I'll be honest, I don't really care. Like, as somebody that loves competition, loves esports, I don't really care if a player calls another player an asshole or shit or whatever it is while they're playing a game. I don't care if Forgiven, the MVP of Europe, is in his solo queue games and basically lording it up over people and saying, I'm better than you. Because he is.
Yeah,
he's the MVP of Europe. He's better than everyone. Yeah. So people who are getting like butthurt about that and are hitting the report button. And by the way, I don't know if I believe those numbers. Like, far be it from Riot to pull a statistic out their ass with their you become 126% more toxic over voice chat or whatever bullshit they decide to say. Light numbers are a fucking mess, Jen. Like, seriously, the things they're just like, it's like, okay, what 3 numbers sound plausible, and they just do that. They just say that.
Yeah, anyway. Don't base your studies off of Call of Duty. That's probably a good idea.
Yeah. So they well, oh god, there's another thing I'll talk to you about before we end the call. But anyway, so for me, I don't even necessarily believe the numbers, because I know in high elo, people don't report each other. No one reports each other. You don't report each other. Why would you do
just
that?
Queue up again.
Yeah, you're just like, it's Forgiven. Yeah, apparently he's been reported in 70% of games. No, even if Forgiven was, what must he be doing to even get that? I don't know.
Well, firstly, people don't usually care if they're playing a league for like 8 hours a day, each day for their job. Is like getting a 70% ratio on that is pretty hard, because imagine how many games you're playing a day. You're probably playing like 6 to 12 games a day, depending on how many scrims you have, obviously. As like, you kind of got to be very motivated to get reported in all of those. Yeah. Plus, that doesn't factor in whether it's one report or an entire team reporting you. Like, it can just be somebody you got on your team that you have a personal beef with, and it's going to report you no matter what. So that's not very, like...
Yeah, I didn't...
...of anything.
But the point I was making was, I got to say, I just don't care. I think it's
I mean, why would you
going to be
care?
without their player? They're going to be without their top player for a crucial part of the season because he was a little bit meanie poos in solo queue.
Yeah, I mean, why would you care? Unless after the game he punches in somebody's nose on the enemy team, why would you give a fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
It could be in the professional game, the in-game chat. What does it matter if they get distracted by that and then like piss their pants and like on stage, and it's like, really?
I mean, look, I've talked about this a lot. I don't know if you've ever played any competitive sports yourself, but I certainly did. And the things we used to fucking say to each other when we were playing games, your opponent, like in the scrum, in a game of rugby, you're quite close. I used to play a position called blindside flanker, which generally means you're always shielded away from the referee. And, we used to like thumb in the eye and, fucking bite each other's ears, like whatever it was.
Yeah, you're free to say shit, man.
Yeah, and we would be like, you're fucking dead, mate. You're fucking shit. You know what I mean? Your kids here. I'm going to go stamp on them after this. You know what I mean? Like, right on the soft spot. Like, you would fucking say the most outrageous shit. I used to box. What do you think boxers do when they're clinched together? Do you reckon they're going, ooh, this is a really good boxing match? Like, no, they're fucking, you're shit, mate. You're shit. As soon as we break it, I'm going to break your fucking ribs, you cunt. That's what they're saying.
Yeah. Now, you're not going to be very chill after beating each other up.
Yeah, exactly. But it's all handshakes at the end of the game.
Yeah, because you realize it's a close thing still.
Yeah. Competition is intimate, and it's like you've got to be in the mindset not of hating the other person, but you can't view them as equal. You have to believe you're better. You have to want to take it out on them, right? You have to want to beat them. And to beat them in anything, you have to believe you are better, stronger, harder, faster, whatever it is, right? So if you take that element away where it's like, yes, good game, chap, you are my complete equal and peer, and I love you very much. Like, the competition immediately is fucked. It's fucked. You have to be in a particular mindset. That's my experience. So I don't understand why Riot are just like, look, solo queue. Like, why not even give pros their own solo queue? I know it's meant to be Masters tier, but at this stage, you know, the queue times are so long anyway. Why not stick all the pros and all the streamers and everyone who's not going to be a fucking butthurt asshole? I guarantee you, Forgiven can't have been reported by other pros. I haven't known another pro who hasn't gone on tilt and been salty in solo queue. Solo queue is beneath them. They are athletes. They are the elite level athletes. Of course, solo queue is beneath them. They hate every wretched minute of it.
Well, yeah, solo queue is your I gotta warm up my mouse hand before the scrim, so just leave me alone thing. That's solo queue to them. So it's like, just don't talk to me.
Yeah, it literally is like, look, you're terrible at the game. Right? I don't even know why I'm on your team. But let's just get through this. Like, and then I go back to my glorious salaried job, and you go back to being that fucking arsehole who's played 10,000 Heimerdinger games. Like, but that's life, right? That's just, Why? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Why this is a big deal? Why it matters in solo queue? I'll give you an example, okay? If you want to know the difference between League of Legends and Dota, all right, just before the international, there was Evil Geniuses, who are one of the obviously top, North American teams. They brought in a player called Mason. I don't know if you know Mason.
No, I don't. I don't follow Dota at all.
He was known for being like a rager and just, playing in sort of, ranked play. But anyway, someone just put out a bunch of screenshots, and it was unreal. The rage, the levels of rage in the screenshots were like, "You are a nigger," right? That was in there. If I find you, I will shoot you in real life. You deserve to die. You are fucking scum. Then there was like another one where he was like, "Look, I'm a fucking top player. You're a joke." Blah, blah. Like, just literally, it had racism, death threats. It had it all. Okay, and this came out just before the international. Now, if this was Riot...
Yeah, that person would never play again.
Right, he's done.
Not even privately.
He definitely ain't, right? Right, do you know what the Dota community said when that made it on the front page of Reddit? Don't care. Downvoted. Don't care. Who cares? Who cares about this? Really childish. Who cares?
Well, yeah, if you want to just follow the scene, then what does it matter? As long as he doesn't do it into the faces of people, then what's it matter, really? I mean, sure, it's insensitive as fuck and it's uncalled for, but like, to the sport and the scene itself, what does it matter? It's like, can you stop this? But I'm not gonna sanction anybody over it in the professional setting.
So he went to the international, and I can't remember where. I think EG finished third at the international. So his share of the money was, I mean, you know what the international's like, right? So this guy's already made, fuck knows how much money he got, like, for that. So he was like, he made hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then it's like, I'm out now, right? Okay, I'm not playing anymore. But in a Riot world, he doesn't get to do any of that.
Yeah, in the Riot world, he doesn't get to go to the tournament, and even in the Riot world, if he went to the tournament, he would probably get like maybe $8,000 out of it.
yeah, true.
So it's like,
the prize money is a separation. But so here's the thing: like, do I think people should be using racial epithets to each other in gaming environments, in polite conversation? Absolutely not. Do I think a bit of like, be clear? Forgiven hasn't even been racist.
Not for all I know.
Yeah, no one has said that he's been banned for racial epithets. He's been banned. Nothing like that. So he's been banned literally for calling people shit at the game. Yeah, and he's going to miss a crucial part of the season. It's got to change. Either that, or people need to wake up and realize that as you grow older, as your priorities change in life, you need to be associated more with adult esports. Counter-Strike, it's just not a problem. Dota, it's just not a problem. You know, nobody's trying to solve the world's problems through the conduit, through the medium of esports. We just want to have a nice competitive scene, a nice environment. Players get to make a living, journalists get to make a living, streamers get to. Everyone wins. Everyone's entertained. You know?
Yeah, and then you have Riot.
Yeah.
Then you have Riot, which is like the social justice police of esports and the internet in general.
Yeah, it's insane.
And that's like, we're gonna save the internet through the medium of League of Legends, and we're gonna show everybody that solo queue can be the most peaceful place ever and totally interesting. And that is just not going to work, like, ever.
So, just a few final thoughts, Jen, because I obviously want to pick up as many callers as possible. But look, so you've talked about this, social justice warrior, this tumblrism. It definitely seems to be more prevalent in League of Legends than it does other esports scenes. But I have noticed as League of Legends popularity has grown and those players start to bleed over into other esports. For example, I've seen Counter-Strike fans for the first time in my 10 years.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Toxic.
Yeah, I heard about them using that word now.
Yeah, they're bringing up toxic. They're talking about toxicity. They want to stop players being toxic in game. There's talk about them wanting. I mean, there's been numerous forum threads about it. Because actually, how it works with Valve, they've got a system way better than the Tribunal. Way, way better. We do Overwatch, yeah? Right? Now, in an Overwatch demo, when you watch Counter-Strike player, here's what you see. You see footage of them playing. Their names are redacted, the chat is redacted, and the voice is redacted. You just watch them play, and you are there to discern two things. Did they deliberately fuck up the game by playing bad and team killing, or did they cheat? Because ultimately, those are the only two things that matter.
Yeah, like if your actual performance isn't suffering from it, then like, what's it care? Like, why care about it?
Exactly, and there've been so many threads from I used to play League and now I have just played Counter-Strike. I am Silver 3 and I think that we need to ban flag. Fuck off! Get the fuck out of my game.
Play for a year or two before you want to make big changes.
Yeah, get the fuck out of my game. So anyway, but back to the final question. I'll let you have the last word, Jen. Do you think we need to worry about esports in general becoming too sanitized, that this ethos is going to infect all esports, and ultimately esports will become pretty much a replica of League of Legends throughout the business?
Well, I think that depends like really mostly on Riot, and I heard they have a lot of big investors coming in now, or at least they're in like talks with them or something. And if that becomes too big, like they get too much money shoved into them and they get too much influence on other like tournament organizers. Like, I mean, what did they do with ESL? They made them have a separate thing for Dota and CSGO. I mean, if they can do that to them, then I don't know if they infect other companies that they have to do with all that crap, and then just like, yeah, we're the biggest sport. We have the most money from outside sponsors rather than our own community like Dota does. Then it could spill over way too much. So I'd rather avoid that, honestly. But I can see it happening, and that's not a nice thought.
Yeah, I mean, just again, full disclosure for you, Jen. They didn't just stop there. I didn't get to work a number of ESL jobs because Riot didn't want me anywhere near their product. And one of the reasons, people were like, wow, Richard went a bit mad when Nick Allen joined Twitch. He tweeted some nasty things about Nick Allen joining. Why would you do that? Look at his ginger beard. He's so nice. Nick Allen's the fucking guy that's going behind the scenes like some fucking Littlefinger cunt. Right? And fucking stopping people like me working in StarCraft, working in Counter-Strike with ESL. That's what they do. That's the political shit they pull. So when you see a guy like that go to a company like Twitch who are like meant to be completely apolitical, I just think, fuck it, man. I hope there's a fucking red wedding for that cunt. He's unreal, like, taking fucking jobs away from people that worked in esports longer than him to sort out his fucking evil Riot overlord paymasters. It's unbelievable. Anyway,
Jen. Yeah, that's being a cunt.
Yeah, that is being a cunt. Yes, and you said cunt. Yeah, we got you. I made you toxic. Hey,
No,
like
you didn't
is
make
right.
me toxic. I'm like,
Like
not
is
anyway.
right. Toxicity does spread. There you go.
The internet hates me anyway. You can't change that.
Anyway, thanks a lot for calling in, Jen. And I certainly hope to hear from you again in the future. Enjoy the rest of your evening, whatever you may be doing with it. Thank you.
Sure, same thing to you with your apple beer.
Thank you. There we go. So that was Jen talking about the tumblrism, the sort of sanitization of gaming and in particular esports. We're starting to get it now, Sam. I'm sure you've noticed it.
Yeah. Makes me sick as well because I started in console esports. Like, this is just nothing. Before when I used to watch console esports, people would legit start swinging. Like, just after the game, controllers down. Just like, come on, outside now. I want that back.
Oh,
So
mate, I went to UK Counter-Strike events for fucking years. Do you even... Have these people even watched Call of Duty?
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean.
Have you seen it? Have you seen the videos? I find it embarrassing. But, like, there's... Like, I went to a Call of Duty event, and... was it Gfinity? It might have been, actually. And they brought in a yellow card and red card system. This is true, right? Listen to this. And basically how it worked was, if you stood up during a game and you were like, "You're a fucking shit cunt. What's up now, scrub? Look at my bank account," or whatever phrases COD players say in their ridiculous console game that I may or may not be working in. So remember, I love you guys. They got a yellow card. They held up a yellow card. And they were like, right, any more of that talk and you get red. Now, the person on the yellow card gets up and would do it again, grabbing their nuts, oh shit, fuck you, right? But you're not going to show them a card, like, because what happens then? Oh, you're out the tournament, okay, you're disqualified. What for? You grabbed your nuts and said, suck my dick. You're out. Your whole team's out.
Get him out of here.
All your dreams are ruined now. It just even Gfinity were like, look, we needed to address the elephant in the room, which is like Call of Duty trash talking was like out of control, really embarrassing for the sport. Because people were just taking it too far.
Sport. Come on now, it's console. Calm down, Rich.
Yeah, sorry, mate. I've had. No. I'll
smashed. Look at it.
I'll call it a sport. So all esports, mate. Even the Angry Bird Championships are a sport, mate. You've got to. If you think like that, you'll always be okay in esports. So, I was like, what the... I get why you've introduced that system, but nobody's ever going to fucking ban anyone. Nobody. So they didn't do it. The only people I've ever seen be egregious to this degree, where literally your professional career as an esports competitor hinges entirely on things you say in-game. Practice games, no less, ultimately, which is what the solo queue experience is. Or indeed, if you're like Mithy and Nuke Duck, custom games that you play with friends, is League. You have to say something pretty fucking mental to get a tournament ban.
To me, the esports so boring as well. Like, I've stopped following League entirely.
Right? Do you know Kaz, the Ukrainian StarCraft?
Yeah.
Well, he was playing, it was in a frag bite. He was playing against a female StarCraft player called Madalisk.
Yeah.
And he tweeted, it was something like along the lines of, I am about to rape some Swedish StarCraft player. Right, now, far be it from me to be the social justice police and say that was too much. But even I'm like, oh, dude. Like, dude. Really? Like, even I know that's fucking ridiculous. Even I know that's ridiculous. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even saying maybe the word, maybe we can find some way that we can sort of be like, okay, well, in parts of Eastern Europe, they do use the word rape in like some real traditional old English meaning of the word to defile. Like, you can rape a landscape, you can rape a field or something. Like, maybe, no. You're playing a woman in StarCraft, please just. Yeah. So even I'm not like, I don't consider myself a fucking tumblerite, right? A tumblerina. But even I consider that's ridiculous. But that's how far you have to go. Like, I am playing a female player in a game, and I am going to rape her. Yeah, fuck this. Like, dude. And like, here's the thing. He didn't really get it.
Yeah.
And that's a cultural thing. He was like, "What do you mean? What's the problem?" I say that about guys all the time. Yeah, but dude, think about the crime statistics. Think about how it works. Just come on. And he didn't really get it, and then he apologized. It was all okay, and it went away. But he did get disqualified from the tournament. But that's how far you have to go. That's literally how far you have to go. But not with Riot. Like, with Riot, I'm playing a solo queue game. You're not very good. Fuck you, your career's up.
Who is this guy? What is his main account? I must find him.
I remember that Reddit thread where a Riot employee, do you remember this one? He made a thread saying, be careful what you ask in solo queue. Never use the question why. Yeah. And he went on some rant about how, like, I had said, why have you built that item? And it was like, it's just not helpful, man. It's just not helpful. I'm a Riot employee, by the way, so I've been indoctrinated into being non-toxic. And then the guy who was talking about went, yeah, dude, I was in that game. I asked you why, because your build is shit and it doesn't even work. And he listed why, and he goes, and also, as soon as I asked you why you built the item, you told me to fuck off. And he had a screenshot of it. That still works to Riot. That still has a job. These fucking social justice warrior pricks can't even stick to their own fucking rules.
Oh, like I got wrecked. So, did he? Fuck off. I like his onions unrenected. I've seen it in LCS.
It's not even real, is it? Is this fucking real life? Like, oh my... Honestly, I just can't, mate. I can't do it anymore. Like, talking about that game, it's just giving me... Honestly, it is giving me a I probably will be diagnosed soon. It
is giving tumors, multiple
honestly,
tumors.
It's beyond a joke. Like, they're the people that are going to dictate to you how to behave. Remember, you must always be the good Samaritan and be the good little fairy, and you must never say anything bad about anyone else. You just told me to fuck off, mate. Shh, sleep now. You are banned. Like, is this the system?
Mudge, remove all his posts from the subreddit. He must never be seen again.
It's like, that's Riot in a nutshell, man. Don't, just do what we say. Don't do what we do. I literally can't wait, okay? Because even though, like, the only thing I'm ever going to write about League now is, like, their scandals and all their bullshit and all their fucking crazy stuff, right? Like, just to protect the players, like with the MYM story, but like, I'm not even interested in writing an editorial like why Team Impulse should not illegally boost accounts. I'm not going to write editorials anymore. Like, just fuck it. Like, just fuck paying any attention to that game and that deranged company of fucking narcissists and lunatics. Like, fuck them all, right? But here's the thing. All of the NDAs that all of the people have signed, and they've all signed something called like a do not disparage clause or something, which is like you can't say bad things about them after you
Basically
leave.
The Tumblr clause.
Yeah, no, it's that when you leave the company, they won't say anything bad about you while you got fired or whatever if you don't say anything bad about them. Mutually assured destruction, you dig?
Yeah, except that the show statement that implied he did something, even though during our investigation we found he did nothing wrong. He is banned for 3 games and will never cast Copenhagen Wolves again.
During our investigation, we found no evidence. However, what is this? Am I on crack? Is this happening? Right? So anyway. Yeah. So they've got those clauses in. Now, here's the thing. The beautiful thing. In about, like, I don't know, 2-3 years from now, those clauses ain't going to be valid, man. And there's going to be a bunch of motherfuckers coming out. Like, yeah, when I was in Riot, there was, like, this room. And it was unbelievable. Like, I couldn't even believe it. Light was elevated up onto fucking, like, onto some stage. And he just said, behold, this is the Church of Light. and he just started jerking off, and we didn't know what was going on.
He just started kicking babies to death.
Because we were just there for a job interview. We just had our last interview, and they said, "This is your first day at Riot offices. You're gonna love it." We went in, and he had a horned helmet on with 666 on his chest, and he was just jerking off. And we were like, "Well, what's
Into
this?"
Into Travis's waiting mouth.
Travis nice stroke slide. Really nice rhythm you've got there. It's like, well, I don't know what's going on. And then it just bursts forth. And he says, drink from the jizz. Drink the holy jizz of Riot Light. Did I mention I have a PhD? And they just absorb, like those people that happened to, and it totally did happen, by the way, right? They're going to be able to talk about it. And I can't wait for that day. But until then,
the reckoning.
Just fuck League of Legends, basically. Let's do another call. Who have we got, and what do they want to talk about?
Next, we have Dirk Smallwood, and he wants to talk about XWX Elo Boosting.
Okay, awesome. Hello there, Dirk Smallwood. Can you hear me? Dirk, can you hear me?
There he is.
Here he is. Here's the Dirk.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Dirk. How you doing, brother? You all right?
I'm good, man. Rich, I'm a big fan. Thanks for taking me on your show.
Hey, and anyone's welcome, mate. We don't have a very high standard here. Fuck, they let me host it, so...
Yeah, and they let me on.
Well, no, so you want to talk... Well, you tell me in your own words. Come on, lay it on me, bro.
Yeah, no, first off, thanks. I just want to say thanks for what you do. I really appreciate it. I know people shit on you. You only get 700 viewers, but fuck them. You're cool. Well, what I really wanted to just come on here and say is Sam is a Welsh dog. It took me 3 weeks to get on. It's ridiculous. I mean, and I want to clarify my credentials really quick. So I'm from America. I'm a white male. I live in Texas. I was born in the South, so I was basically born a racist. So I know when I see someone, I know that that's a Welsh dog. Okay.
Check your privilege, man.
Privilege, you white Texan asshole.
You never had to mine coal for a living.
So, come on, man. Let's get to the meat of your call, brother.
No, what I'm basically calling is about the XWX situation. What I really wanted to say is, are these professional players literally not making enough money that they'll risk their entire careers over, what was it, $1,400 on this thing? Or...
Oh, well, actually, it's worth mentioning because the report did go live. I'm glad my boy Jacob Wolf managed to get this out, actually. So, yeah, you're absolutely on the money. It was $1,400 for a single boosting session. And the evidence is very, very damning. I'd be super interested in knowing what the defense is, what the statement is. Now, I think the one thing I will say, Dirk, in all of this is that while XWX is going to be the guy that's going to carry the can, because he was ultimately the guy that was doing the boosting, quite clearly the team impulse manager, Alex Gu, is the guy pulling the strings on all of this. And in fact, the PayPal account...
that was his, right?
Yeah, it's his.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
and he's the one that's going to make the statement for everybody to...
Yeah, which that's going to be hilarious. I gave my email and Skype to one of my best... I don't think that's going to fly. But anyway, so the issue we've got here is that you're asking the question, don't League of Legends players make enough money so they don't need to Elo boost? But we have no idea, actually, who's getting that money anyway. We saw situations like with AHQ, with, of course, the promised suicide attempt, where the players were being ultimately bullied into throwing games. And I'm not saying that there's anything like that going on at Impulse, but there's certainly a lot of questions.
It looks like it, honestly. I mean, I could see where you could say that. My question is, if that's the case, now obviously, he's a professional player. He elo boosted. That's against the rules. There's got to be a punishment, right? Like that's however you feel about it, he broke the rules. There's got to be a punishment. So does he take the fall if there is someone else? Is there more investigation to find out why is the manager's email and PayPal being used? You know, what happens to him? Or do we just say, you know what, sync Zhao Zhao for and I don't know how they're gonna decide how long to do it, because they might do 4 games, they might do until January like they did the people in Oceania. I don't know, but is he just the fall guy now, Zhao Zhao, or do they go and actually figure out where this is coming from and fix the problem?
Well, it gets worse, Dirk. I don't know if these details have necessarily been released. I haven't had time to read the Daily Dot article, but certainly there's more than a hint that Riot employees already knew about this in advance. At least one of them did. And I know from my own experience, I've passed on evidence back when I had an open channel of communication with Riot, back before I was doing impressions of Light being the devil jizzing on new employees.
Which I liked, by the way. I got the visual and everything.
Thank you. It's a homage to Bill Hicks. Everyone needs to check him out. But anyway, so the issue with the fucking losing my train of thought here while I'm on air, not very professional. Yeah, so the problem you've got here is with the whole boosting situation is I've uncovered boosting rings before in Europe. I've uncovered players boosting accounts in Europe, and I passed evidence on, and they've gone, we'll look right into it, and then they go, fuck Richard Lewis, fuck this.
Well, I mean, we know the problem with that is, Rich, is they're only going to use it when it's to their gain. If they use that information when it's to your gain, come on, man, they're not going to do that.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, it's they
just for the simple point that it would give you gain, they wouldn't use it.
Yeah, but so I mean, I remember when we had lots of very, I would say, compelling evidence that Mimer was a booster. We sent it to Riot. They did nothing with it. I messaged Riot again, and they said, "Well, we're looking into it." Then they just wouldn't reply to me, so I published it. And then it went out into the public domain, and Mimer said it was somebody impersonating him, and it was a very good impersonator because it even had the same IP. It was a hell of an impersonator. But nobody gave a fuck ultimately. So I even this is how much I tried to play ball back in the early days. Even though all the evidence pointed to him being a booster, I withdrew the story. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. It's the only time I've ever taken a story down and published. I did it because that rabbit hole was even going to go way fucking deeper. Like some of the names that were coming out, yeah, it's not just Mimer, it's this guy, it's that guy. It was like, yeah, okay, right. So I withdrew it. And the only reason I'm mentioning Mimer right now is that you can probably still find it on a web archive somewhere. There was a Reddit thread. And I withdrew it. But I'm still convinced the evidence was really, really good. It's been brought to my attention recently, even as of a week ago. There's players that have just been signed that are involved in Elo boosting. I was writing an article about Elo boosting, and they've been telling me some big name streamers and some big name LCS players are involved in boosting. People are still boosting.
Well, I mean, let's not get it wrong. $1,500 for or $1,400 for one account. That's not chump change. I mean, that's money, right?
No.
So
yeah, yeah. Why?
That's what it leads me back to my original point. How can at this day in League of Legends, maybe in other esports where there's not as much money but how in this day in League of Legends with so much money, how can our players not be making or not have the incentive to not do this? How can that happen? Where's the money going if our players don't see it?
So first problem you've got with League of Legends, right, Dirk? And this is a problem that you don't have really anywhere else, is that Riot effectively pay for everything. But because of tax laws and employment laws, and just because it would bring a lot of questions into if you want your esports product to appear like a league, a genuinely competitive league, Riot can't employ the players. So it has to be an organization picks up a League of Legends team. A League of Legends team gets promoted into LCS, but LCS pay their salaries, but not directly. They're technically not even salaries. They pay the team a stipend, which is divided between the 5 players. and it's divided. Right, there has to be a bare minimum paid, but anything that's left over is at the organization's behest to spend however they want. Any salary the organization wants to pay, Riot has no influence over that. Any other sources of income, as long as it's not contrary to Riot's rules, Riot have no influence over that. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because ultimately that stipend, the way it breaks down, we've gone over it a bunch of times, it's not really a lot of money for a split. It's actually like a minimum wage job for a split. So compared to players that exist in other esports titles, like take, for example, just in terms of pure raw salary, players at Kingwin, not even a top tier team in Counter-Strike, they're earning 3,500 euros per month salary, which I don't know what that equates to in dollars. Would you like me to convert it for you?
That's fine.
No, I'm going to do it. I'm helping. Here we go. I'm going to do it. I'm going to
now,
do
so
it.
I know like the Riot salary is like what, 13K a split, so 26,000 a year, which no, that's not a lot of money. I can see that,
Okay.
but there's no way
that's like $3,824.52 per month.
It was more in American dollars, right?
Yeah. That's definitely
American. America's better, see?
Yeah. Of course, that's how it works, right? So, so there we go. So, but it might even be more. I mean, people are saying it's more than that. I mean, I've literally just typed that into Google. Apparently, the euro to the dollar. I don't know if Sepp Blatter's been fucking shit up, but that's what it's coming out as. Anyway, whatever. The point is, it's much more than what you would make from the Riot salary alone. But because League of Legends is so popular, it becomes super important for an organization to have a League of Legends team. So in the West, what we do is that they'll definitely fucking sweeten the deal. Apart from the scrub bottom tier, one split, hi everyone, bye everyone teams, the serious teams, they pay a salary because they want the best talent. So they get a double salary. A lot of these are non-disclosed. But equally, what you got to remember is it's a salary, but it's never going to be a massive salary independent. So even that won't be like 3,500 euros on top of Riot's money.
Right.
Combined, they might make more in a top team. But that's with the Riot stipend and whatever the organization needs to pay it be to guarantee their LCS success. Where the real money comes in with these guys is endorsement deals, streaming, prize money on top of that. Because, once you're in LCS, you've got sort of a little bit of a prize money monopoly kind of thing going on anyway, because that's the only league that there is. But a Dota 2 player for a top team, their earnings will outstrip a League of Legends player over the course of the year before we, if we don't add streaming revenue into that. Streaming, the reason League has been losing top tier players to becoming streamers, your Voy Boys, your Cutie Pies, because when they were pro players, they'd wake up, they'd be like, you got some coach shouting at you like, oh, okay. You do 8 hours of practice with teammates that are like, just everyone's raging. There's so much stress. There's so much pressure. You think, I'll let off a bit of steam, right? I'll go on Twitter. You get a phone call from Riot straight away. Did you just tweet that you like blueberry pancakes over strawberry pancakes? Well, we've actually found that in Korea, they prefer blueberry, so you're potentially being racist right now. Light says it's super toxic, and you'll lose 42% more games. Right, okay, Riot. Okay, I'm really sorry. I'll delete the tweet. Can we pretend it didn't happen? We will have to do a full investigation about it. Okay, cool. You put the phone down, right? Then you have to go into LCS. You play your fucking LCS. I don't know if you've ever been to an LCS broadcast. You got fucking Riot employees just pushing around. Be here, sit here, do this, do that. What's that? There's a bug in our game? Shut up. Don't talk about it. There are no restarts. Shut the fuck up. Play the fucking game. This is Riot. We can take away your entire livelihood anytime we fucking want. So you live all of that, and then it's like, it's the night now, man. I can't wait to go back home. You get back into the team house, and then your manager's there. Do you remember in your contract, you've got to stream for 6 hours a day, by the way, if you want to get that sweet, sweet bonus that we promised you, and you've got that obligation to promote our brand on top of it. All right, boss, and then they stream, and then they get 4 hours sleep, and the cycle repeats. You wonder why fucking pros go to streaming. Get up when you want, do what you want, say what you want, entertain how you want, and make more fucking money.
Yeah,
That's it in a nutshell, dude.
My concern for League of Legends or LCS in general is Zhao Zhao is not a nobody. I mean, he's considered one of the better mid laners in North America. If he's not making enough money to not elo boost, you think anyone on Team 8's not elo boosting on enemy? These people that might not even be in LCS next split. I mean, how could I even fathom that they're not saying, "Let me"? Oh, he's making $1,400 just to get the Masters. I do that in my sleep. Let me go do that really quick.
Let's be real. I mean, those players, some of those players have been linked with it. You know, I mean, the whole Sam Wang Elo boosting ring, I mean, that's the stuff of fucking legend. But again, here's what happens. You want to expose a boosting ring in League? Instead of Riot going, oh, thank you, Mr. Journalist, you have helped stamp out corruption in our game. And when we say Elo boosting is one of the worst things in our game because it undermines the entire competitive experience, we really mean it. They don't say that, mate. What they mean is we will try and hide this going on as a routine, daily basis thing. We will try and hide it as much as we can. We will try and stifle people talking about it. If you send us evidence, we will delete it. We will just pretend we never got it. We will lie about it. We will do anything we can to avoid talking about it because you're asking the right question, Dirk. If the grass was so fucking green as a professional League of Legends player, why would anyone risk throwing it away for $1,400 fucking dollars to boost some fucking scrub from plat to diamond? Why would you do it?
Exactly.
And Riot don't want their community that they've got controlled. They don't want you asking that question because that undermines the competitive experience. Their entire thing is fucking aspirational, right? The whole way the system works is you start playing the game. First, it's like, wow, I don't like being bronze. That sucks. I need to get to silver. You get to silver, you're like, shit, silver's just more of the same. Everyone's laughing at me still. I got to get a gold. Now, gold is where it's acceptable. Then you start, well, I'm gold, man. I carry myself out of bronze, so now I'm competitive. You start going on. You start looking at builds. You start getting hooked in, juiced into the competitive scene. Then you get to fucking plat. Now you're tantalizingly close to diamond. Diamond has always been this distant dream. This like, wow, when I'm in diamond, I'm so close to being a pro. I mean, it's bullshit. Right? Like Diamond 1 are still fucking scrubs, but that's the way it works. That's the way you're meant to think. So then you you get there, and here's the point. What do you do in your off time when you're not playing? Right? If you're a serious league head, you're watching streams, you're watching all these pros, and you're thinking, maybe one day me, maybe one day me. The amount of 15-year-old kids I've had message me going, Richard Lewis, perhaps you can give me some advice. You are old. Like, yeah, look at me. Look at me. I've got 700 people watching me drink myself to death.
Give me some of your drunken advice before you get alcohol poisoning.
Well, my 15-year-old friend, I think you should follow the exact same life path I did. Yeah, that's going to work. But anyway, so I get so many 15-year-old kids like saying, I'm really, really good. I'm already Diamond 1. Could I be a pro? Could I be this? Could I be that? The aspirational element is what props up League of Legends. So if we start picking away and scratching away at this veneer, which is Riot coming out, hey everyone, did we tell you we got everyone athletic visas? No, you didn't. We already had those. Yeah, but we got more of them. Did we tell you that we salary everyone? Yeah, but Dota 2 has a much bigger prize fund. Yeah, but we don't do that because I like ecosystem and shit. Anyway, we made esports, guys. We made esports. We did it, not you, not anyone else. We made esports, yeah? And they fucking live on that shit. Now, if anyone starts scratching that bullshit veneer away and looking at what's underneath, hang on. You've got players who live in team houses that don't even have furniture. You've got a fucking minimum wage salary. You've got absolutely no freedom of speech. You make your players sign away their fucking image rights. You have no player union. And more questions are being asked. All your players have to work on the side to top up their salary. If we start asking these questions, League of Legends don't look so good, does it?
Yeah, and then the last point I wanted to make on the Elo boosting topic is I see a lot of people saying like, let Riot handle this. Riot's gonna give in, they've done year-long bans for this in the past and blah blah blah. What I'm confused is where do people get that Riot care about competitive integrity? Because I mean, I just don't understand it. When things happen like what happened with Gambit last year and mess up an entire tournament, the competitive integrity of that tournament was lost. When draws for world championships are done behind the curtains where no one can say you didn't cheat them, how can you tell me you care about competitive integrity? What it tells me that you care about is the image. As long as people say that you care about integrative, what the word I'm trying to say, then that's okay.
Well, look,
you're happy.
I think the only evidence we need to know that Riot doesn't compare about competitive integrity is this. That when they wanted to do a roadshow for commercial reasons and they were looking at places to run events, they chose Wembley Stadium. They chose London. It's a great venue. It's a great stadium. It's a big market here. League of Legends is popular. Esports has always been popular here. It's one of the markets that advertisers like. Problem is, they chose that location and that venue in too short an amount of time for one of the teams that were going to play there, Gambit Gaming, to get visas. And they were going to play league games that would ultimately decide the future of which teams stayed in the league, which teams didn't, which teams could potentially win the league, which teams didn't. Now, for me, if I'm the kind of company that cares about competitive integrity, I go, well, we gone done fucked up here, and we haven't given enough time for one of our beloved teams, one of the teams that helped build our fucking business. We haven't given them enough time to be able to compete in a fair fashion. So I think what we should do is the players that can come over and can get those visas, maybe we throw together a fun match with casters and we just do exhibition matches or something like that. But instead, no. What they did was they said to Gambit, fuck the fact.
Or give Gambit a bye that week and let them play another week. Like, come on.
Yeah, you could even do that, right? But no, what they did was they say, fuck you, Gambit. Fuck the fact that we've messed you up and you can't get visas. After all, you play in our league. We own you effectively. You're going to play with ringers. You're going to just play with ringers and you're going to suck it up and you're going to like it. And don't you dare fucking criticize us too hard in the public domain or there will be sanctions. And you will go to London and you will lose your games with your ringers like good little bitches. And we'll never talk about it again. We'll just never talk about it again. We'll never say, my bad. We won't even give you, like, anything. Like, just fuck you for even bringing it up. That's how much Riot compare about competitive integrity. Something like that completely undermines the entire fucking league. It ruins it. And you did it for commercial reasons.
Right, because in the end, it doesn't matter what 5 players are on that stage. Because the community does not... They're not looking for the best games. They're looking for the people they like. They look that type of thing. If the community cared about the best games, China would have the most viewership from North American viewers. Their VODs would have all these viewers. LCK, when like last night when Faker played and
yeah.
they're on like 1,000 best of 3 winning streak. People would have been watching that game. But yeah. They don't care. They want to see the people they want to see play. And if some of them aren't there that week, that's okay. We'll see them next week, don't worry.
And that's what I mean, man. I just think that the phrase competitive integrity, I think it only gets bandied about by Riot employees when it suits them. Like it's competitive integrity is something we use to keep the teams and the players in line. It's not actually a standard we ever have to live up to ourselves. And that for me is fucking shameful because you may find this hard to believe, Dirk. But I've been in positions of responsibility before. I used to be like a manager, like in an office. I used to have...
Somebody must have been drunk giving you the position, I guess.
I was drunk being interviewed for the position, so I guess it worked out, right? But the fucking... Well, right, I used to go on all these, I used to coach people in how to sell shit to other fucking people. And I used to do seminars and training and all of that. And so I had all the requisite knowledge to train other people. I used to go and get trained myself by super upper tier management. And one of the things I went on when I went on this I used to go on manager behavior courses. And one of the things that always stuck with me, because there is an element of truth to it, is behavior breeds behavior. I went on a course about it. And it's like, okay, if you're just the guy that comes into the office and you're like, sup, Dirk? Yeah, you got to do overtime tonight. No, the company needs it, mate. I know it's not in your contract, but like, no argument, yeah? No argument. Dirk, you're just going to do it, okay? Anyway, I've done my 30 minutes in the office today, so I'm off. See you, Dirk. See you. Enjoy that overtime. See you. See you. And you go out the door. All you're thinking is this company shit, my manager shit. Next time I need a favor from you, something I can't mandate you to do, you're not inclined to do it. Next time the company's in a jam, all you're thinking about is that time I fucked you over and made you work that overtime you shouldn't have worked, right? However, if you're a manager and you come in and you don't say anything and you're just like, okay, see you guys. See you. And they're like, fuck's he doing? Rich, what's up, man? Not coming? Are you late? Nah, I gotta stay and we got a shit ton of work to do. I'm just gonna do it. It's okay. You guys go. Now, you're thinking, oh, this guy's the best boss in the world. Tomorrow, same shit, right? See ya. All of a sudden, they're like, well, can we stop and do some work? Because the boss is working so hard. Maybe we should as well. Right? So, and you go, well, I can get you some overtime if you want to stay and help me out, but, this is my thing. I got to do it. And then whenever anyone says, like, are you being overworked? Are you being mistreated? They all go, no, we got the best boss, man. He's the first guy to roll his sleeves up and get in the trenches. And all I've done is just psychologically manipulate you into doing what the company wants you to do anyway, but making it look like, maybe I got to work 1 or 2 days extra and to trick you into it. That's what we do. That's corporate shit right there, right? So, in an esports context, Riot need to be doing that. Riot don't even do that. Riot can't even be asked to just pretend. They can't even be bothered to trick everyone else into behaving when it comes to competitive integrity. They just can't be bothered. They just can't be bothered.
It's so easy for them. I mean, when they basically just that's why I posed the question. To me, there's got to be more than just Xiao Zhao. To you, I mean, you've reported on it. There obviously is. Is Xiao Zhao just a fall guy, and we move on and keep pretending it doesn't happen? That's what I think is going to happen.
Oh yeah. Trust me, right now, I don't understand how Alex Gu is going to get out of this. I just don't even. I don't even know, because it's like the money's going into his account. If I was Xiao Zhao, like, what I'd be doing is I'd be like, don't worry, Alex, brother, I'm going to stand by you. And then in the next breath, I'm like, look, right, Nick Allen's replacement, Hunter Lee, who swore he'd never worked for Riot and said that I was wrong when I said you were going to work for Riot. Here's the thing. Alex Gu totally bullied me into it, and that's why it's his PayPal and the PayPal's in his Skype. And I'm Xiao Zhao. I'd never do anything wrong. I love this game, and I'll totally throw him under the bus in public. I'll totally sell him. And then you go back to the office going, Alex, I got you, baby. I got you. That's what I'd do if I was Xiao Zhao.
Oh, yeah.
Because otherwise, if you let the managers and Riot sort it out, here's what's going to happen. Alex is going to be, I knew about the boosting, and what happened was Xiao Zhao said he needed to use my Gmail for something, but I had no idea that the money was so big and it was going on, and it was just a friend thing, because I'm a good manager and I would never be involved in it. That's what's going to happen if the players don't come out, because Riot will be like, right, okay, what does the minimum damage? 1 player. If a manager's controlling a boosting ring, that's really bad. Really, really bad.
So here's my little gossip. Isn't this the timeline a little weird that Adrian just left the team? So to me, that says Adrian got pissed off, left the team, went and threw some Skype logs somewhere. I mean, I'm not I don't say put out whistleblowers or anything like that, but I mean, let's connect the dots for a second.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, look, there's no doubt, isn't there? The timing is very suspect, Dirk. And I think what we need to really look at it here is that Adrian, I mean, that had been talked about for a while, actually. There was disgruntlement there. Like, journalists were hearing Adrian wanted out. None of us could figure out why, because we were like, well, the organization can't want him out, surely. But that's what we were being told. And Adrian wants out as well, but he was contractually bound, and it was like it was meant to be a mutual thing. Like, but both people neither wanted anything to do with each other ever again. But when you looked on paper, Adrian was like this super statistically good player, and it really stood out for them this season.
Yeah, very good.
So you're like, well, okay, how the fuck does this make any sense? Like, he should want to stay in LCS. right? That's just common sense if you're a league player. And Impulse should want to keep their support, who is really good and one of the best players in the team. Well, turns out, if I was a betting man, I would say that either it was a case of he got wind that some guy was about to out Zhao Weizhao and was going to go public with it. And he was like, look, that's the fucking thing. Like, I won't say anything about it, but you need to fucking terminate my contract now, or like, fuck this.
You're not taking me down with the ship.
Yeah, I'm not here for the shitstorm. I can play in any team in LCS. Fuck you. I'm out, right?
Yep.
So there's a very good, theory crafting that makes sense. Equally, there's another thing to say that maybe he got wind of it and he just went to the team and he went, about that contract, guys. What would happen if I made a Reddit thread about this? And they just went, yeah, you know what, Adrian? Contracts are meaningless. It's just like the end of the Goonies. They just tear it up. It's okay. Keep your house. It's all good. So I don't know, brother. I don't know what's going on there. But like, if I know anything about drama, if I know anything about League of Legends players drama, I think we're about to like just have a feast of it. It's going to be like when Link published his fucking, the Link manifesto.
Confessions.
Yeah.
His diary or what? I don't know. Oh my god.
Yeah. Seriously. And anyway, this is why just unreal. So I think we're gonna get another 18-page diatribe. I just don't know who the fuck it's gonna come from. But I'll be honest, mate. I'm actually looking forward to that. As much as I'm sick of fucking League and all of their bullshit, I'm actually looking forward to reading that when it comes out. Because here's the one thing we can say, Dirk. The one thing we can say, and this is definitely coming out, by the way. This is totally gonna come out. Riot knew about it and did nothing yet again. Just said it did nothing with MYM. Just said it did nothing with Nip and Lemon Dogs. They know about this shit. They don't care about this shit. They don't want to fix it. And when a scandal comes out, they throw whoever they fucking can under the steamroller. So I'm looking forward to watching that. And I'll be on the sidelines tweeting and writing things. And that, like I said, that's the only involvement I want to have with League right now. Just basically pointing out, yeah. Riot are unbelievable pieces of shit. Unbelievable.
Well, that's how I got on the show today. I just told Sam I wanted to talk crap about Riot. He was like, "Yeah, dude, we'll get you right on now." I should have said that weeks ago. But...
That's all it takes, brother. In the same way that Riot basically Light in particular indoctrinates all of the new staff, right, with deep, forceful strokes. That's what I did to Sam. He drank the black worm jism of Richard Lewis. And he just hates Riot. He doesn't even remember
on the rotting corpse of his liver until it infected my body.
He doesn't even remember a time. He has these like little memories where he goes, "Want to play League? Love Riot," and then he starts vomiting on himself and having a seizure. It's great. I've done the right thing.
So here's my question. Rich. Now, where are you going to stream all your stuff at? And it's going to be just a couple more days till you lose your subscriber button. Now that Nick Allen's over there at Twitch, you're going to have to move your channel somewhere else. Where are you going?
No word of a lie now. I obviously saw all the Twitch guys recently at DreamHack Valencia, and I told them like massively disappointed with them giving a job to Nick Allen. Told him he's one of the worst pieces of shit I've come across in esports. And that for me, it really does make me quite. I love there's not many companies that I actually say good things about in esports because a lot of them are just about the money or they just do what they're supposed to do, and it's like you shouldn't praise someone for doing what they're supposed to do. But Twitch, I'll tell you something about Twitch, right? This is true. So I was having a super bad time like last Christmas. You know what it's like? It's like that George Michael song. Last Christmas. You got banned from Reddit, and the very next day, your YouTube went away. It's like that, right? So I'm having a terrible time, real fucking stressed out. I get this box, through the mail, and I'm expecting it to be anthrax or a bomb or something from some like SRS crew, because apparently I said bad things once or whatever. And I open it. And it's a combination of like Twitch gear, hoodies, and bottle openers. Like I'm using to open these beers I'm drinking tonight, and just nice shit, just nice shit. But what really makes it, Dirk, is inside there was a Christmas card. Now I've got Christmas cards from companies before. Hell, my local Chinese, they send me a Christmas card. and they send it to Daddy Round Round. They don't. That's a joke. Oh man. Anyway, they don't send it to Daddy Round Round. That's a lie. They send it to Mr. Lewis, and I get a Christmas card from them and a free calendar. But this was different. I opened it up and I just expected like enjoy your hoodies from Twitch or whatever, and it wasn't. It was literally signed by all the Twitch staff. It was like signed by Tosspot, Too Good, the guys I'd worked with for years, and it had specific, unique jokes and references that only I would get, like "Rest in Peace, Cadred," and "Remember When," you know. And I just thought, like, actually, you know, I'm glad I turned down all that money to be on a Nazubu or a Hitbox, because the small things matter to me. You know, I'm a loyal guy, right? But the Nick Allen thing is just, oh no. So I've said like there's a chance my stream has a future elsewhere, and I wish that wasn't true. But you got our principles in this business, and this is a guy who hasn't just bullied journalists like he bullied me. Like, again, I got chat logs where he's like, "You're not making any friends in this business, Mr. Lewis, and I'll show you." I got chat logs along to that degree. I got all the shit about like the ESL jobs. Whenever it's like, so why didn't I get that job at ESL for that game that Riot didn't make? Yeah, well, Nick Allen said. You're like, right, okay, right. All right.
Isn't it going to be hilarious in like 6 months from now when you're banned from streaming on Twitch? Someone's going to put out some information, and it's going to come out that the entire reason he fought so hard to come to Twitch was to chase you, so he could ban you from Twitch.
The best thing is, I talk to people, I'm like, man, this Nick Allen's really fucking up my shit, and they're like, oh, when I talked to him, he said he really likes you and likes your work. I'm like, is that how he treats? Imagine what he does to people he hates. So on top of that, I mean, just forget what he's done to me and how he's fucked on my fucking life, right? And God knows who else he's fucked over, but forget all that. This is the face of Riot's bullshit findings and investigations and disciplinary rulings for God knows how long. He's the guy that basically said it was acceptable for MYM to get fined $5,000 that came out of Corey's fucking salary, the abused player in all of this, because, hey, man, both parties made mistakes. One threatened to take away their mother's house, and the other said he was scared and wanted to go somewhere else. Both of them were bad. That's the kind of guy Nick Allen is. So any company that employs someone like that, either they need to put him in the fucking Clockwork Orange room, right, and open his eyes to like how normal fucking human beings, not that fucking mentalist cult over in fucking the Riot offices works, and then maybe Richard's all right with him. Yeah.
The thing that's scary about esports, though, is these are the type of people that have the pull. These are the type of people that can work at Riot, go to Twitch. These are the type of people that get to say who can do what. They're the ones that can send you the threats like, hey, you're not making any friends, you know?
I know. And that's what makes me super disappointed that Twitch would employ a guy like that. Because Twitch is a fucking family. You know? I go to events with fucking Smix, who's been brought in as a partnership manager. Fifth Lauren. I've known him for fucking years, like when he first started playing CSS. These are all people like I respect and I actually care about. Literally. You know? And then it's just like, oh, hey, Richard, we've brought all these people in and we're super... yeah, you love Tosspot, don't you? Yeah, Too Good, he's great. You were there at the beginning and we got all these other guys. And then Fifth Lauren's here now. And Hiko, okay, you had a bit of an argument with him, but you still respect... And Smix, yeah, you've worked all those events together. Anyway, I don't know if you know Nick Allen, right? And you're like, oh, motherfucker, come on. There's got to be a limit. You can't be that desperate for esports talent that guy gets to just slither through at the last fucking minute. Like, everyone else has a reason to be here. What's this guy's fucking story? What does he bring to the table? Apart from bullshit and lies, you know? It's like, oh. Anyway, Dirk, you are going to be the last caller because I've ranted and raved. But you know what, man? This was a team effort. You are my Texan brother. You brought out the best in me, right? Like,
I just wanted to say you're welcome for the 200 viewers I got you. Please tell Sam that I don't expect it to be so hard for me to get back on. And thanks. Again, I really want to say both of you guys, I appreciate I really haven't followed you forever. I wasn't into esports before League of Legends got big, but ever since then, I've been on. I've read all your articles, all your videos. I appreciate what you do. I like somebody that can tell me the truth, and I appreciate you for doing that. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you have a great night, man. It means a lot coming from anybody to hear that. So look after yourself, and don't worry, you will not have to wait this long to get on the show again in future. Thanks a lot, Dirk.
Because
Thank
you
you.
never
Take it
come
easy.
on again. Hey. Right, and before we go to the last caller, I'm actually going to put my foot down here. There is going to be one more, and it is a very special guest that we all love. I want you to all spam Frank Z in the chat in memory of Big Hungry.
It's Big Hungry, is it?
We're going to have to bring him on as the classic end call. The old trash talks.
I'm going to need a drink for Big Hungry. I drank all my bootlegger. By the way, guys, I'm totally not...
shit.
Oh, right, Big Hungry. Seth, dude, just chill. Let me do my little plug. Let me get another beer. And then we're gonna do what we do best, which is talk about blue people, alien fucking exploration, Riot, whatever it is. But anyway, guys, I got introduced to a new beer, and like that's super exciting to me. When you get to my age and my weight and my level of attractiveness, and you know, the only things that excite you, because you can't get laid anymore, the only things that excite you are food and alcohol. So this
Wait, that's
beer,
supposed to happen when you get old? Fuck.
Yeah, but it's different for you, mate. You've got a problem. Anyway, so I got introduced to this beer called Bootlegger beer, Bootlegger Prohibition beer, and they make these different flavors. This is the apple flavor. I got a case of this, and just to let you know how good this is, I'm going to read you the description on the side. It says, in the years of Prohibition America, moonshiners used fruit juice to sweeten their raw illicit booze before transporting it in used spirit barrels. This recipe, I mean, that isn't even a fucking recipe, by the way. This recipe inspired the lawless rebels from Bootlegger to make this apple brew. And it's literally apples, white grain spirit, and malt liquor. It's the fucking best. Like, and it
It's
just tastes
heaven for alcoholics.
Yeah, it's the great. Hungry, you keep the crowd fucking warm while I could get in.
I keep the crowd warm with Sam.
You got this. You got this. You got.
Warm.
Just keep them warm with Sam. So how you doing, Sam? It's been fucking forever since I've been on here.
I'm actually digging for something to entertain the plebs, but half of these aren't Twitch safe, unfortunately.
Ah, I see. Oh man, it's. You know what's sad? Last time I was on here, Richard was referring himself to what is it, Super 1337 Guy 69. That's how long it's fucking been.
You know what? We'll just hit the stream with that. Good old fashioned Richard Cunthead.
I can hear this. Am I a cunt?
No.
Oh no, it's just
the Cunthead, mate.
I thought you were gonna put a picture of when you folded my head.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Wow, mate. Trigger warning, mate. I've just seen it off fucking stream. Are you real? That literally that will literally get our stream removed from fucking Twitch now for pornographic material.
Nick Allen's gonna be looking through the VOD. What is that?
Yeah. What is that? What is that? Right. You're not making any friends in this business with your head shaped like a cunt. Anyway, I didn't come up with the name cunt head.
Channel warning. Subreddit ruling on Richard Lewis.
Yeah, Twitch ruling on Richard Lewis. We found it shows meaningless drunken babble that have nothing to do with games.
During our investigation, we found out Richard's head can be shaped into a cunt. He has been...
Oh, that was beautiful, Sam. That was absolutely beautiful. I think we lost.
This is fucking outrageous on my show.
Of course, on your show. You haven't had me on it fucking forever. I gotta harass you sometime.
Right, come on then, brother. Let's talk about something, man. Let's talk about esports, preferably.
Let's talk about esports. Okay, we don't want to talk about the blue men today. No, I gotta go back that far in time.
No, trust me. I've used up so much grade A material today. I think, especially with the light impression, I think we can save the talks about DMT and ayahuasca for another another evening. But trust me, we will do it. We will do the talk on stream about interstellar beings and drug use. But tonight, let's keep it esports, all right?
All right. Well, since my topic basically got stolen because you went off the rails and talked about competitive integrity, I guess we can go back to the topic that we talked about a while back, which was the proof in the pudding on Riot taking over LCK and LPL. And because we both basically agreed that it's like, you know, time will only tell, you know, how well or how bad this is going to be. And we've been through 2 splits now. I kind of want to get your opinion on things, because right now it's becoming more irritating, and I'm going to shamelessly plug here for you. I'm actually finding it easier to watch videos on Alpha Draft than I am to watch them on the little esports page for LPL and LCK.
Well, let's come on. Before I always give my thoughts, I always like to get the thoughts of the caller, because the last thing I want to do, even though you're a big personality as well, Seth, you know, it has been accused. I've been accused down the years of maybe dominating conversations, so I don't want to do that. And like trash talk, even though it rarely works this way in practice, in theory, it is meant to be about the callers. So, give me your opinions first of all.
So my opinions are basically this: LPL format-wise. I mean, I didn't watch LPL beforehand, so I'd have no bearings for that. It's about fucking time they get fun scoring back then and there. They've actually got someone that knows what the fuck they're talking about, so I've actually been more inclined to watch LPL as of late, just because of the fact that they've got somebody that knows what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
It's mainly the LCK side of things that I've noticed a lot. There's missing VODs for like 3 weeks at a time, where you're sitting there like, okay, you know, I'd really like to watch the SKT versus CJ game. It was supposed to be really exciting, where Faker pulls out mid-Yi and just stomps some kids' heads in. And it's like, oh, we're not going to post that. It's like, okay, you know, maybe that'd be acceptable if you're not posting anything else, but you've got LCS back to back to back, week to week to week to week, not missing a single thing. Oh, I've got all that little interview stuff. And we're going to segment the games there too and cut out all the downtime. It's like, that'd be nice, you know? And it's not like people are like, oh, well, no one else was doing it. No, OGN was doing it. Yeah, it cost you money. But I could go back and review any VOD, anytime. It had all the fucking bullshit or space filler removed. And I didn't care I was paying $11 a month for it, because I'd rather watch it from them than I watch it from fucking Riot.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know. Look, so here's the issue. This is a tough one. There's many layers. So for the first thing I want to say is, like, I still think to this day, okay, it was a disgrace the way they handled taking away LPL EN, for example.
Oh, almost definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you know, what Kelsey and Froskeran and Pyrotechnics, and I forget the names of the people involved, so hopefully they'll forgive me for that transgression. What they did in bringing a stream that was regular, frequent, of a consistent quality, if not the highest, and knowledgeable to an English-speaking audience about a growing and developing region, was unprecedented in terms of community involvement. You know, I can't think of anything, even from like StarCraft actually, that was such a superhuman, community-driven broadcast that was so good to watch. And when Riot took it away, I said it was a travesty that they didn't immediately give all of those people jobs. One thing I will say is Riot, they have a long-standing history of, oh, what's that you're doing over there? Oh, yeah, that's really good. That's really good. Do you want a job? No. Your job isn't to do the thing that you were doing. Your job is to actually just not do it anymore. Like the Wintermint fucking client or whatever, you know, or the guy who got fucking jacked on the fucking Fantasy League of Legends thing. A million people have like made stuff that's super cool for League, and Riot just come along and go, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we really love that. We love that. Really good. We want to give you a job. So what do I do now? You just never talk about it ever again. Shut up. And that's that. And it's like that again. That's the Riot way of doing things. So when the LPLEN stream got took down, I thought at least these motherfuckers are going to get paid. Right? They deserve that at least. Nah, did they fuck?
No.
They just took it away, and they just basically said it all goes through North America right now. What people forget about what LPLEN had negotiated was they went directly to Tencent, who are meant to be the majority fucking owners of Riot, and Tencent had said to them, yeah, you can totally do that. You've got our blessing. This is great. An English fucking speaking stream for the Chinese league? Awesome. It was Riot, the North American component of the business, not the Chinese owners, and Tencent are very often portrayed as villains. And they might be. I mean, they're a company that makes a ridiculously high turnover. I'm sure they've done all sorts of fucked up shit. But when it comes to this league, they totally knew that LPLEN existed and gave LPLEN its blessing to exist. It was Riot, and only Riot, not Tencent, that shut it down. They didn't employ those guys, and by guys I mean that in the collective term, not guys and girls, right? Just guys. We're all guys.
Oh, come on, Richard's now a sexual discriminated.
I know. I'm triggering people. That's how I do it. A group of people is guys to me. Maybe that's sexist. I don't know. Fuck knows.
Your bros, your guys.
Yeah, I can't even tell anymore. But anyway, they all fucking, got told, like, some of the harshest shit, man. Like, Kelsey Moser got told. Like, Kelsey Moser, like, one of the fucking most knowledgeable people about that region, great writer. She just got told flat out, like, you're just not very interesting. Like, your voice sucks. Like, you're just not interesting to listen to.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, so you're out. Pyrotechnics got told... and obviously he's got a job now, right? So he was told, we can polish you up, but you'll have to go through like so much training, man. You'll have to be like really brought up to speed. And Froskerin was told, your Twitter feed and your Reddit posts are too aggressive. You have too much of an opinion. I mean, how dare you as a woman? I mean, it's the irony, whatever you say about guys like me being sexist dinosaurs, the fact that she was having like super strong opinion, and I get no one gets to do it, but it seems to be even more taboo when a woman does it. She got told she needed to watch herself on social media for 6 months or whatever, and before she would even be considered. So they took away something that worked for the community, something everybody enjoyed, that showed every game. Now, the only silver lining to that, right, because they fucked over all the staff that made it, the only silver lining at that point is, well, at least it gets the Riot lick of paint. It gets that all singing, all dancing, Riot broadcast experience. It looks like LCS, it smells like LCS, it feels like LCS, it watches like LCS. And LCS, by the way, I will never change my mind about this. Week in, week out, it remains the best esports broadcast we've ever seen.
I get it remains the shiniest. Best is a term that I wouldn't use for it.
Yeah, okay. Actually, Seth, as always, you're on point. You're right. It is the shiniest. It's the most well-produced, well-polished, has the best content, the smoothest transitions, the best, most professional commentators, and it's amazing.
I feel like LCK has that, but that's also because I'm a bit biased towards...
Yeah. I mean, you might be right. Maybe it's on a par. I don't know. I think I still lean to LCS, but again, that might be me being biased, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway, the point being that you think if LPLEN is presented like that, like a Riot LCS broadcast, you would have to reluctantly say it's for the better. And when I broke the news about Riot taking LPLEN away, everybody went, well, it sucks, but, at least we're getting an LCS-style broadcast for the Chinese region. Now, that hasn't happened.
No, it's like the redheaded stepchild of the LCS broadcast.
But here's the thing, Seth. I don't understand why. They must have the ability to do it. This is fucking Riot. They control everything. Are they trying to make us forget about the Chinese region? Like, I don't know what's going on, dude.
Let's be realistic. It's trying to push you more towards the Western regions to watch EU and NA, because hey, it's more readily available. It goes more towards, you know, what we aspire to in the NA Riot headquarters. You know, we want to be like a football thing. You know, we want every weekend for you guys to come in and watch these games and cheer on your favorite players and, you know, just get involved and do all the things, man. It's like, I don't give a shit. The competitive integrity in the Western scene pisses me off to a point where I find it really hard to watch any of the games because they're best of ones, and the formatting issue is just absolute dog shit. There's no storyline. There's no, oh hey, TSM beat CLG in a best of one. That's cool. You know, that was a really good cheese that you pulled out there. Your cheese was better than my cheese. You had some Gouda and I had some Swiss. You know, good job. You pulled out the right cheese that day. It's boring. I find it absolutely, like, I'm barely able to watch. The team that I followed since I started following was Curse into Team Liquid, and I have a hard time watching them. And this is the best they've looked for years. And it's just so difficult to watch because it's just a shit show. It feels like I'd rather be watching best of 3 good games. That being said, I do have to agree with Monty said this in a one of the Summoning Insight episodes where he said best of 3s probably wouldn't work in all regions because it would bring a shit ton more like work on analytical, which I honestly think they should do it regardless. That being said, we did watch an Anarchy versus who was it? I want to say it was Longzhou IM game that took 3 best or all the way to the best of 3, and it was just complete dog shit. It was teams. It looked like an NALCS broadcast on the lower level of teams. But so that's my fear with having a best of 3 in that scenario because your teams are so much worse off.
But again, I think everybody agrees that the way the regions that embody that that utilize that system, everybody agrees it's a better system.
Oh yeah, and I mean
for competitive integrity, right? Which again,
most definitely.
There can be no dispute. I mean, like I understand the arguments about best of 1 and how it makes it exciting and stuff, and you get a chance to replay them later on. But I definitely think what they do in like LCK and other the regions that embody the best of 3. So I like that, and you can have that. There's no real reason why you couldn't have that.
I think another thing that really, or go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say there's plenty of filler you could cut out.
Oh yeah.
You know,
you could cut out a couple teams.
Broadcast.
Not to be a dick, but like enemy LD or what is it? Dragon Knights, Team Dragon Knights, whatever the hell it is.
Well, I mean, fuck, man. Like at this point, you're not even cutting them. You are literally just putting them down, and it's humane. You know what I mean? Like it's so sad what happened to them right from the start with the whole visa bullshit. But
it was garbage the way they started out. They really didn't have a chance. They were basically started from inside the sinking cabin trying to get out. But I got another thing that kills me.
What's that?
It's the NA.
Don't say cyanide.
Oh God.
No, it's a joke.
Oh yeah. I was saying Monte Cristo said it in another Summoning Insight. He
That's
said,
true. Yeah, that's right.
NA players. He's sick and tired of hearing NAEU Western people saying our dream is to make it to Worlds and be competitive in Worlds. It's like if you want to be competitive Worlds, go play a season in LCK. Go play fucking 2 seasons in LCK. I think it'd be really good for several teams. You take TSM, you get a fucking ringer roster, the CLG hot shot in the boys style roster, enough to keep you on the up and up, out of relegations. You take your main squad, go to LCK, play under a different name, whatever. The thing about that is now saying that Riot will be like, no, that's not going to happen. You're not allowed to.
Here's what I'd like Riot to do, right? Just for 1 season or something, like 1 split even. Did you ever used to watch wrestling, Seth?
Not really.
That's all right, mate. Right. Well, there was this, right. You know about WWE or as it is now?
I know the general premises and stuff.
Right, and you had WCW. Well, okay, they did this. I mean, you've done these things called like invasions. It happened as well. You had like in WCW, you had WCW and NWO, and there was like an invasion there. And then you had WCW invade WWE when it got bought by the same sort of parent company and stuff, and all the talent merged. And you just had an invasion. Why not just for 1 split, like just be like, I don't know, like the prize is you finish top, and you get to fucking play in the Korean split. It's all bullshit anyway. The idea that this is a fucking sport makes me laugh. Honestly, it's like, guys, it's a marketing exercise. There's no organic shit going on. Why not just have, like, I don't know, the winner of Europe and the fucking winner of fucking China and the winner of fucking America, and they are like, right, this is it. Your prize is this: money,
Winners League,
bitches, Elo, fucking bannings, some light jism, and then boom. Also, you're playing in the Korean League for one split, and everyone goes like, "Oh my god, I totally didn't know about it." And you just go out there and just have a split, man. Fans would fucking love it. Everyone would love it. Koreans would love it. Americans would love it. Everyone would love it. It'd be cool, and then that team would get to come back. You know, maybe you do 2 teams or something. Like you say, make a winners league, make a champions league for like one split, right? Like, what the fuck? Like, just do something different, man. Like, the segregation between all the regions, like, this is something that like Counter-Strike doesn't even have. And our community has still got these big divides. Like, up until recently, we weren't seeing American teams going up against Europeans regularly. We're still not really seeing it regularly, but we saw it at the ESL, ESEA Pro League, $500,000 across $500,000 across both regions in prize money. We saw it at, DreamHack Valencia. We're starting to see it now. We're seeing it at the ESEA. We're going to see it at SIVA. Like, what people are excited about is what a different region's going to do when they play against each other. How are different styles going to merge? And for some reason, the only time you get to see this is like a Worlds or IEM.
Yep.
And IEM can go at any time if ESL decide they want to grow some balls and tell Riot that they can't just cuckold them and tell them what to do with every other game in their portfolio. So what we need like not an open tournament system, but just, I don't know, like in football, in soccer, you've got like in Europe, you have the Champions League. If you win the league, although it's been a bit devalued because now even if you finish 4th, you get into it. But let's just start with like the winners of each region. Well, that wouldn't work in league, but all right, okay. The winners and the runners up of each region, like when there's some sort of super league, you can monetize that.
You can monetize it. It would get cross-pollination as far as not talent, but like styles and learning off of better teams. Because I mean, that's the thing about NA and EU. It's like, oh yeah, Fnatic's doing real good against who? I mean, you've got H2K and Origin in that running, and that's about it.
Yeah, why not, man? Why the fuck not? Like, wouldn't it be cool, like, to have it just in a regular league setting, not like Worlds with knockout tournaments and everyone like where there was some bullshit season, but like just have Worlds, still have Worlds.
Oh yeah,
have someone else. Just have someone else. Throw a curveball in.
Have the winners league. The winners get a automatic berth into Worlds as the first seeds. You take, even if you took the spring split, make the spring split worth more. You wins the spring split. From whatever region. I'm saying split instead of season, but you win that. You win that. You go to the winners league. Winners league get an automatic berth. Maybe not as first seed, but as winners league. Maybe that's a second seed tier, whatever the hell bullshit they want to give their tier list to. But the only problem I have with that is it would be Ryan making it, and Ryan would find a way to fuck it up.
It's like I was saying, Monty's right. He's right.
Oh yeah.
If you had teams go out there and just compete. It would be people would realize, like the difference. People would learn. It would help improve stuff. Like, I don't know, dude. It just seems really strange. And I also got to say as well, just getting back to your original point about the broadcasting thing, right?
Yeah.
The whole point of what Riot wanted to achieve, was to have
Control.
Well, no, but not control it. Okay. Normalize it. We know it's control. Me and you know it's control, right? We've people, Seth. We've met aliens. We know what's really going on here, right? Like Illuminati motherfuckers. We know, right? But the reality is, what they told everyone for was to normalize the broadcasting experience. Their exact words at the time were, we want people to watch any region at any time and it have that LCS feel, have that Riot polish, that Riot sheen. That's what they wanted. Well, we haven't got that right now. It's as far from that as it could be, and they need to start changing it. Like, if you're a fan of LPL right now, you're being shortchanged. God only knows what's going to happen with LCK, and it's like you say, there's the whole fucking pay-per-view thing. I mean, that was another thing I was going to talk about right at the start of the call. Like, a Riot going to introduce some pay-per-view shit at some point? Like, kind of maybe feels like it might happen. Who's going to do that? How's that going to work? Like, I don't even know, man. Like,
I feel Riot, at least in the Western world, is scared in the fact that I don't feel like their game's going to last much longer as far as competitiveness. I would say 3 more years.
So hungry.
Say 3 more years, and it'll be an Eastern-only game where Korea, China, and Taiwan play each other, and the Western region will be cycled out.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I'd fucking love that.
I do too. I think it's better for the competitive integrity. I feel it's better for better quality of games. If people want to watch their Bjergsons and everyone else is like, oh, I'm such a good fan, go watch them on stream. I mean, that's why I watch Saint Vicious. That's another thing too. You want to talk about toxicity? How the fuck did Saint Vicious survive? And we get someone saying, "Oh, you're a Korean dog," when you've got fucking Saint Vicious drunkenly yelling at Elements that he's a piece of shit.
Hey, I love Saint, man.
Oh, I love Saint too. Like, Saint's fucking awesome. Saint was the person who introduced me. Like, I got introduced to League through Curse, and then I was like, Saint Vicious is fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
watching him rant was kind of
like, as an esports personality. I just wish he'd. It's a shame it was League that he got famous through, because in Counter-Strike, that guy would have been a god. Like, he would have been a god in any other game. He would have been a god in League. Unfortunately, he's going to be respected, well liked, have some prominence, but seriously, like, right now, the way CS has gone, if he was involved in, like, casting CS, like, he would be godlike. Like, he would be like the Thorin or something like that.
I was to say, I've seen you and Thorin cast some of those games, and it's fucking hilarious. Another thing too, just side note touches.
One more thing, and then we're gonna wrap.
One more thing, yeah, and I'll let you wrap up. It's getting late for you, I'm assuming.
It's alright. It's just I want to start hitting the hard stuff.
Oh yeah, I understand. If I didn't have to go to work, I got a 120 proof moonshine sitting in the fridge. But this whole toxicity thing kills me, as far as, because it's one of those things that it's very much a Western culture thing. You look at, since it's been so long, I did want to talk about this at some point, but when Ku came back, or formerly known as G, came back from IM, they were told that they should have to swim over, that they shouldn't be flying first class, that they should be basically, outcast, ostracized, whatever you want to call it. No one said a fucking word about it. Yep. And then you got someone like Amazing, oh, well, someone said this, or Reggie going, oh, Thorn called me a monkey. And holy fucking shit, the earth explodes, and everyone's on their fucking case about stupid bullshit. And I think the best description of this was, they did the interview last split for CLG versus Liquid, and Piglet was like, trash talk would be good in the right setting, yada yada. And then they immediately go over to Double Lift, and he's like, well, he seemed like he was just a really angry person. He was trying to pick fights with everybody. It's like, that is the definition of the big chasm divide of maturity as far as the region is concerned.
Well, yeah, but we fucking knew that, right?
Like, yeah, it's not anything new, but it's just depressing.
Have you ever noticed as well, by the way, like, I don't know if I'm missing something, but like, I never hear about, like, it must go on in Korean solo queue. It must go on in Chinese solo queue.
Oh, I would assume
players are flaming each other and calling each other dogs and saying.
I don't have any insight on that, but I mean, you've got a whole fucking segment.
What I'm saying is, why do we never hear about it? Why is there never a, it's like these Western regions, like, fuck. I think I've seen more competitive rulings about the Australian region with that. What were they called?
Oceanic?
Yeah, the Rich Crew, fucking.
Oh,
Rich Gang.
Those guys. Yeah, those guys, Rich Gang. There you go. I think I've seen more competitive regions from like that region, competitive rulings from that region than I have Korea and China. Well, that doesn't make sense.
Oh no, and I mean you think about it too. Riot's all no booing, no hush hush, don't trash talk each other. Everyone played a good game. Korea, they have a segment set up at the very beginning of I believe it's all their playoff games, where they take the players and they go roll to roll. Fucking Jungle last year, Lee was calling Bangi because apparently one of the Korean words for toilet is close to Bangi. Monty said it on he said it. If you go back and watch the video, but he called him. He's like, I'm gonna make you a toilet player. And it's playing words on his fucking name. Or fucking Prey was saying, or who was it? Bang was saying, oh yeah, I used to be in Prey's shadow when I was on Najin. It's like, is that why you got fatter?
Wow.
And it's like, that was broadcast as a live
yeah. But here's the thing. When Riot get to write out a script like, hey, double lift. Yeah, can you just say this? There you go. Say that. Yeah, that's approved. That's government-approved rock and roll right there. You're allowed to say that. That's fine. If you go off message and say the same things that Riot says is okay for Worlds to show, like, we have edge, guys. Drink Coke, right? Like, that's all right, okay? But, like, when you do it in a game just normally, like, double lift, you're trash. About this double lift, you're not on stream right now, so actually saying that to another human being is really unacceptable. But when Riot say it's okay, you get a few cheap laughs on a stream, it's totally okay, okay? And I know it's confusing for you, but I'm sure, just listen to Riot, drink Coke, listen to Riot, drink Coke, and just listen to Riot, and everything's going to be okay, okay? Yeah,
do they get the special lights semen version of Coke imported into their house?
Yeah, perhaps. It's called Coke Zero because that's the amount of fucking in his tiny little balls. Anyway, Seth,
it's been fun.
It's great to get you in. I'm sorry your show took so long, brother. I know you love the show. We love having you on this show. I've been busy doing shit.
All good. Just remember, based off the book that you just had me read, which is phenomenal, by the way. Make sure to bring Sam an Open Beaver magazine so he doesn't fall asleep at the next fucking CS event in the back next to some fat guy who has to pee constantly.
Right. I will pass that on, brother. I appreciate it. But you look after yourself. I'm definitely going to do a show next week. So feel free to call in and we will vet your call for quality as we do with all our callers. And if it meets the quality, Seth, we will get you on again.
Yeah, hopefully. You take care, man.
Yeah, you too, brother. Much love. Peace. So there we go. That is Seth the Legend, Big Hungry. Thanks for turning me into Ambassador Phantom from the Planet Crankle mid-call. You have to understand when you're talking to people and you're like laughing. What's funny? It's because I'm talking. No, you're not a retard. I've been turned into Ambassador Phantom from the fucking Planet Crankle.
Do you see that tracing though, mate? That was by hand. That wasn't it? It's perfect.
Mate, it was really good. Actually, it was really good. So anyway, I do you know what I did say that the gloves were off, you know, man. Like for the next 6 months, I just give so little fucks about esports politics anymore. Like I literally don't care. Like I am beyond caring. Like I literally, if I got a phone call like now, like Richard, you've been out of control on Trash Talk and all your shows. Really, it's going to end everything for you. You will never work in esports again. You've got to range. I just feel like, yeah, whatever, mate. I fuck it. I'll get an office job. I don't care. I'll go down to fucking Salim's round the corner and just work fucking, in my local curry house. They've got an opening. I saw it. I thought, why don't we just serve people banging Birmingham curries? Meet people, hang out. Could do that, mate.
Dream, mate.
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah. But I'm still here. And I said I'm not going to give a fuck and I'm going to say what I want. I'm going to do what I want.
The problem is, if you did that, mate, you wouldn't be able to have Beetlejuice next to your face on an esports.
Here's the thing that's hilarious. I'm now watching the stream and there's so many frames dropped. It's like watching me have a stroke.
I haven't dropped that either.
I am watching myself have a stroke. Have I had a stroke?
No. Not for my.
Oh, Beetlejuice has popped up now.
There he is.
I'm still having a stroke, mate. Still having a massive stroke.
It's not me, but it must be Twitch. Experts have got none, but.
Yeah, well, it was final Beetlejuice got it, so, and the sound's not lagging, so.
No, we're good then.
Well, there we go. Anyway, I don't give a fuck. So, I'm sorry to all the regular viewers that the show took so long to do. I've been super fucking busy, man, and super ill. Been battling with like some pretty serious health problems, but I don't like to talk about it because you never show weakness on the internet. And I'm better now, and I'm in a good place, and I can do some shows. And I don't know how long that'll last, but hopefully it'll last a while. And I'm going to keep doing the shows as regularly as I can. And I'm glad you all watched it. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks to all of the callers whose names escape me temporarily. And I certainly hope we will see you on the next episode of Trash Talk, which, all being well, will be on its regular scheduled day of next Tuesday. Sam, any final words?
Peace.
Peace.